All right. Let's see. Let's see. Check 1, 2. And we are live. Yo, welcome into the stream. Welcome into Track Talk. Let's get moving with some music, with some consultations here. Sensitives in the building. Sensitive, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here over on TikTok. If y'all are coming in for the first time, if you are just stopping by the live on Twitch, YouTube, or TikTok, welcome to Track Talk. Welcome to the stream. If you've never been here before, these are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen, deep dive consultations on the structure of your music. We're going to get into your mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song structure. We're going to dive into the details and the nuance of your music. So if you are looking for actionable advice, you're looking for a long form breakdown, a professional second set of ears on your music, that's what these live streams are all about. Raya's welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. These are going to be really, really in-depth. Like I said, we're going to get into the nuances of all those different details of your music to make sure that you are getting actionable feedback and a really specific and nuanced breakdown of what you're doing creatively. If that is something that would interest you, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. You'll see all of the details there that you need in order to submit. Other worlds in the building. Derek, welcome in. Andy, Guap, Franzi, Winterwoo, welcome in, y'all. Thank y'all so much for hopping into the live stream. I hope y'all are doing amazing today. Let me get this moved up right here. How are y'all feeling today? What are y'all up to? What are y'all up to? What are y'all up to? We're just hopping on. We literally just got started. Derek, I got you, man. Thank you so much for sending in. I'm excited to get into some consultations here. We've got Derek Bennett in the building. Let me go ahead and update my list. Give me just one moment, and we'll start getting some things flowing. How are y'all feeling today? Sock is in the building. Welcome in, Sock. Otherworld, how are you feeling? How are you feeling? Good to see you. I appreciate you hopping into the live stream today. Thanks for being here. Hillin' chillin'. Let's go. All right, let me clear souls from the other day and let me update the list here. And then we'll get into some music here in just a second. Dude, Derek, you have been working like crazy on your music, man. You have been working like crazy. We are getting new tracks left and right. It's unbelievable. I got you up on the board, ready to go. Derek, thank you so much for the heart me. I know it's frozen, but thank you so much for the heart me over on TikTok. I appreciate that so much. If you're on TikTok, please make sure that you are tapping the screen. Share out the live with just a few people. Don't forget to send in your heart me for the day. It does help out the live stream quite a bit. So thank you all so much for the support. Huss is over on YouTube. Huss, thank you for hopping in over YouTube. How are you feeling today? It's good to see you. I appreciate you being a part of the live stream today. Divine, welcome into the stream. Keep tapping the screen, y'all. Share it with a few people. We'll get moving with some music in just a little bit. Is it Shom Studio? Am I saying that correctly? Thank you so much for hopping in, Shom. How are you feeling today? It's good to see you in here as well. How are y'all doing over on YouTube? Derek Bennett said, this song is a true Derek/Testament mashup. Ooh, okay, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We're gonna get moving with some consultations here in just like the next 5 minutes. I'm just kicking things off, getting the live stream moving, getting the algorithm flowing. Malibu, thank you so much for hopping in. If y'all would like to submit your music for a detailed 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dive consultation on your music, like I mentioned before, these are 20 to 30 minutes. We go through the song 2 to 3 different times to get into the mix, production, sound design, lyric structure. If you're wanting to get into the nuances of your music, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile. Click on the link and click on Track Talk Submission. If you're on Twitch, type !submit right there in the chat. If you're on YouTube, go to the description for the live stream and you'll see a link right there. Click on Track Talk Submission and you'll see all of the details right there as well. It's STZ. Okay, perfect. Yeah, you do music submissions. I got a song for you. STZ Home Studio. YouTube is cutting my username. Okay, got you. I'm so glad you're here, STZ. Thanks for hopping in. Do you do like quick reviews? I don't do any quick reviews. There's lots of places that do quick reviews. The structure that I do here is strictly long form, super in depth. My goal is just to be as valuable as possible. There's a lot of places, especially on TikTok, where there's a lot of review spaces as well, where people will do like a quick play. They'll do a quick music review, 5 minutes. We tell you, hey, get a better mix next time, have better energy on the mic, and then we move on from there. I would much prefer to get really, really detailed. Just for this, I've done this for about 3 years or so, just on the consultation side, and I much prefer that. that format just strictly for what we do here. It's the thing that I feel has offered the most value. Of course, us, and I appreciate you being here. Hopefully, the way that we have formatted things here is that ideally as many different people as possible, even if you're not on the board, even if you're not getting a consultation or a review, that you're getting value out of the structure of what we're doing here, so that everybody can learn from the artists that are coming through, the producers, engineers that are coming through. I appreciate you being here so much. Hold on, let me catch up. Let me go ahead and open up. Give me a second, y'all. Let me go ahead and open up my chat on another phone here, or not another phone, the actual phone. Since it's on the computer right now, that way I can keep up with what y'all are saying too, because I know I'm missing some stuff. I know I'm missing some stuff, and I do not want to miss stuff. But thank y'all for hopping into the live stream today. I appreciate it so much. Barry, welcome in. Bob, welcome in. Keep tapping the screen. Joseph, thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate you so much, Joseph. I'm excited to get you an update on your track this week too. Been messing around, just tweaking and moving some things around with the files that you sent me to see how we can start to kind of build out this track and get it sounding like a song, so you can start working on the song part of it. I'm very, very excited about that. Okay, let me open this up over here real quick so we can get this moving. Lettuce, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate the follow on TikTok. All right, hold on, let me catch up. Give me a sec. Joseph, I see the exclamation point submit. Let's see. Hold on one second. Let me get this updated here. Let's see. Okay, Malibu already answered that. Joseph, so good to see you, man. Whoops, wrong. Yeah, Joseph, wrong app. Exclamation point if you're on Twitch. Exclamation point on Twitch. You already know this, Joseph. I'm speaking to everybody. If you're on YouTube and you would like to submit, then go to the link that's in the description for the live stream. STZ, I've got to make sure I get the name. We literally just hopped on, so it's why we have one person in line right now. Let me throw up the line. I'm gonna throw it up here, and I'll switch over so everybody can see it over on TikTok as well. I'll throw up the line here for just a moment, and then I'll answer a couple questions. This is where we're at right now, but it's wide open. We literally just hopped on 5 minutes ago, so I'm just getting things rolling, making sure all my platforms are up to date. I've got everybody's email in and stuff like that. Okay. I feel like I could say your intro. I've heard it so. No, Derek, literally, it's but I have it so concise. No, Derek said I feel like I could say your intro. I've heard it so much. It's helpful for me. Just I feel because my brain is so all over the place. It's so split that it's helpful for me to have things that I say that are really consistent. Otherwise, I'll drive myself nuts. Rix is back in the building. Rix, I see you on TikTok. Hey man, how's it going? How long is the list today? Have a draft unmixed and mastered. Lion is on the board right now. Line is on the board right now. It's wide open. We're just getting things moving. Derek is on the board right now. I've got a couple other people that are coming here pretty soon as well. Shane, yeah, good to see you, Shane. Appreciate you hopping in. Let's see. Let me catch up. I know it's you know, there's like 3 different spiels that I get that are really consistent. It helps me compartmentalize things, so I'm not thinking too much. Opal Star, welcome in. Roland is in the building. Roland, thank you so much for hopping into the live stream. What kind of music? Any kind of music. All styles, all levels of preparedness. There is no genre bias here. This is not a live stream where we are strictly listening to one style of music, and I only like one style of music, so that's all that we listen to, and that's my bias. We go so analytical that we're all across the board. I mean, literally in yesterday's stream, I think we did 6 songs yesterday, 5 or 6 songs yesterday in consultations. Yesterday, and it was literally like an EDM song straight into an R&B record, straight into like a metal track, straight into something else. Like it was very, very, it honestly just depends on who comes in. Is it Mr. Bomb? Welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. We try to get as much variety as possible. There really is no genre bias at all. Any genre, any level of preparedness. Francesca, welcome in. Already made a submit. Okay, let me double check for you in a second. Well, too, so many new people come in, you have to repeat it. It's exactly, Derek. That's why I do it too, because there's so many people that are fluctuating and coming in on all of the different platforms. I'll randomly see people on Twitch, see people come in on YouTube. I'll see obviously people on TikTok, and so I'm constantly going between these platforms and just making sure people know where to submit. They know what they're submitting to. They know where to find the information. They know who I am, so you'll randomly hear me say, "Hello. My name's Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. I'm also a classically trained musician." You'll hear me do the spiel pretty consistently, just because it allows me to like continually make sure that new people know what's going on in the live stream. Wish TikTok was easier to use on PC. I do too, Joseph. TikTok really needs to optimize a lot. They're pretty glitchy lately, I'll be honest with you. Okay, let me double check for Let me double check for Rick's here in a second. Are you Norwegian, by the way? I think if you're using, yes, I am. Yes, I am. I would love to. I'm not in Norway. I'm in Texas, unfortunately. I wish I was in Norway right now. Really, Joseph, that's super annoying. That's very, I wonder why that's the case. That's very frustrating. Yeah, man, I wish I was in Norway right now. Man, do I wish I was in Norway. Okay, let me double check really quick. I do need to double check. Yeah, Torvik, you know, like the fjords. I think it just, like you said, yeah, it's just not optimized. It's not optimized. TikTok is a bit glitchy. Mobile, you know, Twitch is just not the most optimized on its different platforms so much. Tay is in the building. Tay Del Rey, welcome in. My Chemical Romance is the best. I love My Chemical Romance. That's also one of my wife's favorite bands as well. Gotta get some. They're going on tour right now, aren't they? Aren't they about to go into tour? These are not Focal Bathys. These are the Clear MGs. Focal Clear MGs. And I love them. I love them. They're the best sounding headphones I think you can buy. Pretty fantastic. Hi, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that. I think so. I mean, I could double check. I'm pretty sure Shay is in the building. What's up, Shay? Illy Cash in the building. What's up, Illy? Hi, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. Y'all keep tapping the screen. Keep sharing out the live. I see 8.2 out of 10. Rate my username. Oh, do you rate headphones? Megalos from the Alta, Finn, Norway, Hills singer from Alta. I gotta learn. I wish I knew. I wish I was a bit more connected. Have you ever gotten a chance to try these? Is it Arataki? Am I saying that correctly? Have you ever gotten a chance to listen to the Clear MGs? They're a beast. I tried a bunch of headphones before I got them. I was listening to some Sennheiser HD800s, some Neumann ND-H30s, which are fabulous. And they're really well done. Dude, I love that. That's amazing. Hell yeah. Cue Ball's in the building. What's up, Cue Ball? Did you get everything? The video's a bit skippy today. Yeah, let me double check Rick's. I haven't yet. If y'all are just coming into, we're about to get moving with some consultations here in literally just a few minutes. Just a few minutes. Yeah, I would do this. I would rate the same. If I didn't get these are crazy expensive. If I didn't get these, I would be using the ND-H30s. The ND-H30 for open back, for what I do, reference mixing on the go, high quality referencing for production and stuff like that. The ND-H30s are pretty fantastic. That would be what I'd use. But they are half the price of this, so it makes sense. All right, let me back this up. Let me see. It's not coming in. Let me see. Got the confirmation now. Okay. 5:15. There we go. Okay, for whatever reason it I got you, Rix. I got you. For whatever reason it like said that it was red already. So I was like, I didn't see it pop up. I got you. Yeah, you're right here. All right, let's get this up on the board and let's get into some music. Oh yeah, I've owned several pairs. I still own some. So I have these. I've had these for years and years and years. These are probably some of the not the ones I've had for forever, but I use these for tracking all the time. These are the DT770s. I've tried the 990s, which are the open back version of those, and I've also used the 1990s, which is the higher end version of the 1770s and stuff like that. So, and they're good. The 1990s are good, especially for the price. You're looking at $300 to $400. There's just so much there's so much competition. There's so much competition in the $300 to $400 range that that's a hard world to work in. Fattest W, DT990, 1990, and 770s, biggest W 10 out of 10. Yeah, I love the 770s. Oh, so I don't speak Norwegian. My last name is Norwegian. That's my lineage, but I'm very, very, very far removed. But I mean, my grandparents, I mean, they were named Olaf and Eunice. I mean, it's about as Norwegian as it gets, but we're very, very far removed from anyone actually living there or knowing the language. Very, very far. Generations removed, unfortunately. I wish I was closer, and I wish I knew more. Also have this. Also have the DT770s, but I bought the wrong ones. I have the 250 ohms. There you go. I mean, they still do a good job. You know, and you can mitigate some of those issues with a good amp and stuff too. Yeah, the 770s are awesome. I don't like the 7. So I used to mix on the 770s for years and years and years before I was like mixing. And I have some Focals here in the room, and then I have these. And most of the time I'm referencing on these anyways. I would mix on the 770s when I was on the go and stuff like that, and they are just pretty shrill. To me, there's a balance between honesty out of your mix and harshness, and I felt like it was impossible to bring in high-end elements and bring them into the structure of the mix, especially at a high scale, depending on the style that I was working on the 770s. It just ended up being a bit shrill over long periods of time. They were good for up to about like 2 or 3 hours, and after that, I'd need to take a lot of breaks, which you should anyways. Zambia, welcome in. Thanks for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. Hear me out and take my word. Be gentle and take care of your gear. No, 100%, 100%. Most of the stuff I've got in here, these are my babies. Yep. 100%. Most of the things that I have for long periods of time, unless I'm trading and updating and stuff like that. I don't move things around, and this is my production studio in here. So in this production space that I have here, I'm the only one in here. So I keep everything locked up and clean and all of the good stuff. And they do, and I try to keep things pretty well balanced. Okay, Rix, let me get you up on the board really quick. Give me 1 second, and then we're gonna get into some music, y'all. It is time. We're not messing around. I know I've got DT 770s on my Christmas list. No, dude, get them, Shane. They're great. Like at that range, it is. Thank you. I appreciate it. It is a great space. I like it a lot. Get them, Shane. Get them. They're great for the price. Under $200, you're probably not going to get much better, right? So the options I would look at if you're keeping things closed back would be the HTH. These are the Audio Technica M50Xs. That'd be the other option that I would look at that range. If you're biasing more towards production and you want to prioritize probably isolation and low-end response, I would probably bias towards the ATH M50Xs. But if you need general tracking, mixing, balance, flatness for the most part, the DT770s are a staple in studios for a reason. They are really well done. Really well done. So, I mean, again, like I'm talking about them and I have them here. I use these every single day. So if I'm tracking drums, if I'm tracking vocals, I would never track on these because they're open back and they bleed a ton. I track on the DT770s literally every day. So if I'm doing vocal work, if I'm tracking live drums, if I'm miking an acoustic guitar, whatever it may be, so I still track on those all the time. I track on those all the time. And they do a great job. They do a great job. Okay, let's get into some music, y'all. Let's get into some music. Let me get Rix up on the board. Let me get some things updated here, and then I'll give a spiel, as we always do. And then we're gonna dive into the music here. We got Rix in the building. I'm excited to hear Rix. We got Derek Bennett in the building. I'm excited to hear Derek. Let me get some orders updated, and then we'll dive in. Awesome. On 100%. Yeah. For what, $170, you can't really go wrong. I would highly encourage you to one of those two, if not both. I used to have some M50Xs, that one of the plastic parts on the right side broke. I just didn't feel like messing around with it because I'd already gotten them used from someone else. Whatever, it's kind of gross. Just whatever, clean them, sanitize them. Anyways, those broke, and so I got the DT770s, and I've had the DT770s for probably 7 years at this point. I just replaced the ears probably every year or so. Cryptic, welcome in over on Twitch. Good to see you. Hope you're doing amazing. Sorry, let me catch up on some chat. I think I got everything updated. I can make history. I mean, we need to, dude, shoot me a message. Mr. Bomb, shoot me a message. Can I sleep in your studio? It is comfy in here. It's cozy in here. I like it a lot. It's a nice little cozy spot here on the side here. I like it. Cryptic, thank you so much for hopping in. Let's see. I actually learned to mix in them because the mildness is way low on them. I couldn't understand why everyone complained on my mids until a product mixer tested them and said the same. Yep, they're very honest. They're very honest. I'll give them that. Like I said, sometimes a bit harsh. Like a bright vocal. If I'm melodyning a bright vocal for long periods of time, I feel like I'm going crazy. But they are very. I think one of the things I think like the DT770s are like the NS10s of the headphone space, where they reveal a lot. They reveal a lot about what you're doing. It's not like they are the best sounding, but they're not supposed to be. They're not the best sounding headphones. Of course, there's a lot of other better sounding, even like consumer grade, prosumer grade headphones out there, but they do reveal a lot. They do reveal a lot about your workflow, about your signal flow, and about the kind of the processes that you go through. I'm gonna lay down, put on DT770, take a snooze. That's facts. I'm not saying I haven't done that before. I'm not saying I haven't done that before. Yeah, Biodynamic's great. Yep, 100%, 100%. For 160, 170 bucks, you can't beat it. Is feedback? Oh, yes, it is. Kai, welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. And Cryptic, yes, it is feedback. So these are long form breakdowns of your music. Here's my little spiel before we get into the consultations. If you are coming in for the first time, welcome to Track Talk. These are 20 to 30 minute multiple listen deep dive consultations into the structure of your music. We're going to get into the mix and master, production elements, sound design. We're going to get into kind of the details and the nuances of the structure of your music, getting into song formatting and lyric structure, sound design choices, whatever would best benefit you and give you the most value. That's what we're here to do. It's not a quick review. It's not a quick review. There is no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. There's plenty of spaces for that. This is not a hype live. It's not an exposure live. It's not a trash live. It's not a roast live. It is a detailed breakdown of the structure of your music. So if that is interesting to you, if that would be valuable to you, then you can, if you're on TikTok, go to my profile, click on the link, click on Track Talk Submission. If you're on Twitch, type !submit right there in the chat. If you are on YouTube, go to the description of the live stream and you'll see everything that you need right there. All right. Now thank you so much, Ricks. I appreciate you a lot. Let's get into some music. Let's get it. I sent something yesterday, but I had to like go. Okay, Cryptic. Is that did you send a Spotify link? Just make sure that you did follow all the steps, Cryptic. If you sent it yesterday, I think I only see the email and the link. So just go back through the list that's right there. You can see the Nightbot right there underneath Kai. Just follow the steps right there. I love that, dude. I love that. I feel like I'm the same way. A lot of people are great. A lot of great people are the same way, where they have varying genre choices that they make with kind of an undertone of style that is their own, but they like to switch it up and move around a lot. But yeah, just make sure that you do follow all the steps. So go back through that link, read through all of the details, and then just make sure that you follow the steps to get yourself up on the board. We've got Ricks in the building. Ricks, let's get into it. Let me quiet the madness that's going on. I like forgot it was on. I was like, what is this noise going on in the background? But this is just me. It was literally just me. All right, let me clear this. Give me 1 second. Well, that's crazy. Give me 1 second here. Let me pull up the list. We got Ricks in the building. But if you would like to submit, y'all know the details. Just follow the yellow brick road over to the link. All right, let's get into it. This is Ricks. Hey, man, attached is a draft song I wanted to get your feedback on. Songwriting, vocal performance, what should be recorded, what to tell the mix and master engineer. The beat is also drafted. I can still give feedback, any additional ideas. We'll submit the vocal tracks this weekend. Okay, cool. This is untuned, unmixed, and unmastered. Would need direction for mix and master. Are you going to be mixing and mastering yourself? Are you working with a studio? Is this going to be sent to an engineer? So on and so on. Because you said what to tell the mix and master, and you want direction for the mix and master. So is that for the engineer that it's going to be going to, or are you going to be self-engineering? Let me know. Former music producer here, though. Can I feedback along with? Yes. Feel free to. Nope, an engineer on Fiverr. Beautiful. Yeah, drop some. If there's anything that you pick up on that you would like to drop in the chat, feel free to drop in the chat. This is an open space. It's an honest space. At the same time, the thing that I'm very protective of is that people are getting valuable, actionable feedback that actually helps them. Because people will just be like, sometimes, as the internet is, people come in and are just like, your voice sucks, dude. And then it's like, okay, what can we do to improve on it, right? Or it's like, man, like your bass is horrible. What are you doing? Or they'll just put like crying, laughing faces, and that's not valuable, right? That's not actionable feedback. So only thing I ask if people are offering feedback is make it actionable. Give specific things that these artists can add or take away or hone in on as far as their skills go, and give them specific actionable feedback. So my goal, and this is the way that this live stream has been for the last 3 years of doing this, is I want it to be the most valuable space on here. I want it to be the most, like, there's a lot of great spaces to get your music heard on TikTok. I want this to be the most valuable one when it comes to feedback and action on your music. That has been my goal from day one. If some of y'all have been here from nearly day one, and it is still my goal now. All right, dude, thank you so much, Shane. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. and maybe you remember the last video from 2 days ago, and we can connect it. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. I heard so many bad tracks and can tell you it's horrible. So many yeah. It's we're gonna hear it all here. So my thing is I know also Cryptic. I believe your email from yesterday, but just make sure you follow all the steps. That way I can make sure I have everything in place for you to be up on the board. Actually, I think I just Kai, I got you. Let me see. Yeah, Kai, I got you. Let me get Kai up on the board here as well, and then we'll get into Rick's track here. Yeah. So my main thing is just if you're gonna give advice, make it actionable. People make music for a lot of different reasons. It's not always to be a pop star. It's not always to be, the most prolific, instrumentalist and musician in the world. Sometimes it's the thing keeping them alive. Sometimes it's an emotional and mental outlet. And I want to respect those things at the same time as offering feedback in order for them to grow in their craft. And I think both can happen at the same time without, just butchering people's dreams and stuff like that. I think that you can give actionable feedback in that space. All right, let's get into it. And thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate that a lot. If you're on TikTok, make sure that you are liking the live, share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send in your heart me for the day as well. It does help the live out quite a bit if you send in that heart me. Kai, I got you. You're up on the board, ready to go. You're up on the board, ready to go. All right. Let me double check. And actually, wait, hold on really quick. Okay, so Kai, I got your donation, but I think you reached out through the contact form. Just send your file to that email. Send the file to that email. Just sent the email. Did I get it on both? Hold on, because I got the contact form. Oh no, I got that too. Okay, I got both, I guess. Is the contact form something else? Thank you so much. I appreciate you so much, man. I appreciate that a lot. Let's go. I like that. Okay, I got your email as well. All right, let's get into Rick's track, and then I'll keep answering questions and updating things as we go. But Rick's, let's get into it. Let me get this downloaded. This is Dead Dream, Good Pitch. Let's dive in. Rick's, you know the deal. If there's any other details, drop them in the chat. But I'm excited to get into this.
Door, see the devil on my wall, and my mind is running wild. No, I can't move. No,
again, y'all, this is unmixed. This is a raw demo. Completely raw demo.
I know I'm home alone. There's a ghost inside. Keep my head up. I know it's rough.
You're working with the producer, right?
I'm losing. Playing with fire, cause it's my life. I want to ride this sad dream. You're not gonna dream without me, fade without me. It's like a twisted game without me. Don't play without me. You're not gonna dream. I know it's killing me. I'm losing piece by piece, and now I'm on my knees. It's like a twisted game, and I know it's killing me. I'm losing piece by piece, and now I'm on my knees. My head is pumping wild, and I think I know to smile. Don't wanna reconcile all the lies inside me. What a wicked game we play.
Hey, appreciate you so much, man. Thanks for tapping in.
I need to ricochet. Keep my head up. I know it's rough. I've had enough. I'm losing. Playing with fire. It's my life. I want to ride. This that dream. You're not gonna dream without me. Fade without me. It's like a twisted game without me. Don't play without me. You're not gonna dream. I know it's killing me. I'm losing piece by piece, and now I'm on my knees. It's like a twisted game, and I know it's killing me. I'm losing piece by piece, and now I'm on my knees. You're not gonna dream without me. Without
Okay, cool. Got you, Rick. Got you.
without me. I'm not dreaming without me.
vocal production. I got you.
I'm nothing without pain.
Yo, give it up one time, give it up one time. That is Rick's, R exclamation point X. They're over on TikTok right now. That's where they send it through. I'm excited to get into this track, man. You got a cool production structure. Obviously, this is really raw so far. This is really, really raw so far. This is an unmixed, unmastered, like raw vocal demo. So I mainly want to get into like vocal production, some things to look out for as you get into your mix, production elements, things that you can still revise, so on and so on. Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's dive into it from the top. This is Dead Dream Good Pitch by Ricks. Let's run it from the top and get into the details. Yes, if y'all would like to submit, sorry, I'm seeing some people come in. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link and click on Track Talk Submission. That's also the same place that you can skip forward if you would like to as well, Kai. At the submission forward right there, of course, you got what you need right there. But you can skip forward from that same place as well if you would like to go a little bit faster. But let's get into it. Let's run this from the top, and then I'll keep answering questions and updating lines and stuff over time as well. Let's get into it, man. Shout out to Ricks. There's a little like early 2000s like club pop kind of in this early synth and stuff like that. It's got a cool feel to it, but it's got a bit of nostalgia to it as well. Like this, I almost feel like this should go boom, boom, boom. We just have a 4 on the floor kick right after here. You might need to do, once you mix this and get it balanced out, you might need to work with like a DJ or another producer and do a remix of this one. Just a club remix of it would be crazy. Charles, welcome in. Thanks for hopping in. Appreciate it. What emotions do you get from the beat? I'll break that down a little bit here in a second too, because now that I've heard the full thing less analytically, I want to dive into it and get more nuance out of it. So let's dive in from the top. I'm going to update the line here in a second as well. Got you, Kai.
On my door, see the devil on my wall, and my mind is running wild. No, I can't move no more. All the lights are on, CCTV on my phone. I know I'm home alone, but there's a ghost inside. Keep my head up. I know it's rough. I've had enough. I'm losing. Playing with five.
Okay, so really quick, let's start to dive into a couple things. So there's some, I think it's in G sharp minor, if I'm hearing correct. Dun, 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 dun. And you move to the major is really nice. It makes it feel a little more haunting, right? If you were just going to like the 7 minor kind of a feel at the bottom there, or the 3 minor kind of at the bottom there, it wouldn't feel as haunting. It wouldn't feel as like there's as much tension there. But because you have, I'm going to lower an octave, because you have the G sharp minor, E major, and then the E flat major, you get a little bit more tension behind it. So I actually really like that. Those small decisions to me add a lot of feeling to the song. Really, really quick on your vocal production as you dig into it, as you start to open this up a little bit. You have some great accent vocals. And again, I know it's a demo, but I want to open this up a little bit. So before it gets mixed, you have a good idea on your demo as to where those positions are going to be, since you are going to be sending it to an engineer. Like I say, the better your sources, the better your demo will be. The better your demo is, the better your mix is, the better your mix is, the better your master is. It all starts back at the source, so make sure all that's taken care of early on. STX said, a cowbell, no joke, follow the beat instead of a clap or a snap. That would be cool. Oh, you know what I could hear is like those really shitty sounding old Casio cowbells. The boom, boom, boom. You know what? That super saturated, not even necessarily just like an actual metallic one, but like an old, I have like an SK1 back there. That's why it kind of reminded me of it. Like an old Casio, nasty little boom, 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 boom. Like I could absolutely understand what you're talking about there. Kenna's in the building. What's up, Kenna? Thank you for hopping in. Thank you for the heart me. And thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate that a lot. All right, so what I'm talking about here, vocal production, right? So before you even get a little bit farther into your demo, I want you to start opening up your vocal structure. Right now, all of your vocals and your stacks are coming at you right down the middle, straight from that center channel. Get your stacks to the outside. It sounds like you have at least a double track of your background vocals and your in and outs, your accent vocals. Get those pan left and right. I would start with at least like 50% and then pull them back in the mix by 2 or 3 dB so they're not so prominent. your perceived loudness is going to increase the farther out you're pushing these elements. So if you start to pan those background vocals out, they're going to feel very distinct and very energetic. So I would pull them back in the mix just a little bit, so you get a little stab of energy, a little bit of openness, a little bit of width out of your vocal, but they don't like take over the mix. And then when they're not there, your lead vocal feels weak. That vocal, obviously it's raw right now. Once it's balanced, should be, poignant, should be powerful, should be punchy in the middle of the mix. And then those accents should just give you a little life, a little burst of energy on the outside of the mix. And then when they're not there, you still feel like you have a powerful vocal. But I would keep your lead right in the middle as it is, and then take those other two stacks that you have that are right behind your vocal, pan one to the left, pan one to the right, start at like 50%. If you want to go extreme, you can push it, you can go to 100% if you want to. Just keep in mind, obviously, just the balance of the mix when you do that. But you do want your reference before you send it to your engineer to have that in there so that they know kind of where you typically want your vocals positioned. Otherwise, they're probably just gonna keep the doubles next to the vocal because the doubles are right next to the vocal, and that might be the effect you want. So you want to get that taken care of at the source. Let's go a little bit further. Can the engineer work with the vocals as they are now, or is the quality not good enough? I mean, this is raw. This is raw, so I don't mind. I typically request a raw vocal. I really don't like working off of processed vocals. And typically, selfishly, because I feel like they're making decisions I have to undo. If you squash your vocal with processing and over compression and weird, effects and stuff like that, it kind of leaves me at a deficit, and I'm having to kind of unwind some things and work from a deficit. Now, the contrast to that is like sometimes I have vocalists that I work with or artists that I work with where they have a very specific background vocal that they like to do, and they'll send me those processed. They'll send them with, a bunch of filters on it and flangers and things like that. And oftentimes with those, I'll keep them in there and just position them and balance them with the other vocals. But I think they can definitely work with what you have here. I'm going to listen a little bit further. A lot of what these vocals just need is like control. Right now they're completely raw. So there's no tuning, there's no compression. It's a very raw vocal. So you hear that vocal dive in the mix like crazy. You hear it jump back forward in the mix just because there's no dynamic control. And I think that'd be something that we'll work on one thing here in a second, but I think it's definitely something that the engineer can work with. I think especially if you have a clear written vision of kind of what you want those vocals to do. Like those dun, bun, bun. You want those wide dun, 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 dun. Like have it centered and then have it move to the outside right there as well. Let's see. SCC said, roll off the kicks, low end. As a producer, I feel like it's much easier to shape the vocals from dry, raw to the song since it's always an idea behind effect. 100%. Yeah, I agree. I am completely in the same page. I do mix, process vocals every once in a while. Like there's a couple artists that I work with that they like their setup. They kind of like what they're doing. And so they just send it over auto-tuned already and whatever. Sometimes even with effects and stuff already on them, which I just don't prefer, but that's just the way they like to do it. And then I mix it from there. But I would say 95% of the time, I request raw vocals. That way, what I'm receiving is ground zero. I can clip gain, I can balance, I can take care of amplitude issues and inconsistencies. I can take care of sibilants and plosives. I can manually tune as needed, and I'm not manually tuning something with a reverb tail that's moving around and stuff. It makes it so much easier. So much easier. And roll off the kicks low. And yeah, I that's another thing, especially if you're layering kicks. Like in this case, there's a couple kicks, it sounds like, on the production. I will most often make sure. Smokey, welcome in over on YouTube. Good to see you, man. I'm excited to get you your piano. Your piano should be ready to, I should have files for you for piano tomorrow. Should be ready to go. But I'm excited, we were talking about kicks. Sorry, I'm going back and forth between screens and stuff here. But usually if I'm layering several kicks, I'll make sure that I'm carving some space for each one to make sure that they can both exist without just getting boomy and getting muddy. You want to make sure that there is like a balance between those two elements. Same. I'm so excited, Smokey. It's gonna sound nice. I had an early layer track, like a scratch track done earlier today, and wasn't the piano that I was using wasn't what I wanted it to be. So I'm switching to a different piano, and then I'm going to track that early tomorrow, and then hopefully be able to get you a file by tomorrow evening. I'm super excited. I can't wait, man. Hopefully before the evening, honestly. All right, let's keep it going. Same all these. Gon' play dun 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 dun. Lead vocal. moving right down the middle, and then get all those stacks to the outside. So you get this dun, you get this big push off the G sharp minor. Dun, 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 dun. I want to really feel the energy in the stack because the production itself is fairly simple, but it's pretty vibrant. You know, it's wide. It's got some movement to it. The percussion has some energy behind it. I like the, early 2000s, like, motif strings. Those are like early Roland strings, SRX strings and stuff. That stuff that I think you're in a good spot, but we need to make sure that your vocal production is in a space for performance is in a space where we're optimizing all of the energy there. I want to get into this like next verse and hook too, because there's a couple things that I'm listening for where the energy behind your vocal and the register of vocal that you're singing in, I feel like might partially at least limit the expressiveness of this track, right? Where it's kind of captured. You're kind of right here. And you have a good voice, and there's some things that you can definitely optimize about this, but there's not enough actual like amplification going on or projection going on because you're in such a comfortable register, such a comfortable range that there's not as much emoting, there's not as much expression behind your vocal. So I want to listen through the second verse here and second hook and kind of see what we're talking about, because that's definitely something I would want to hear. Otherwise, even with a good voice, even with cool lyrics, even with a cool beat, all that stuff, you will lose a little bit of that energy, right? Like even a lot of good things can start to become monotonous over long periods of time if they don't feel like they have new energy to them. Okay. Need more dynamic to the voice. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, it's kind of exactly what I'm saying. Some different layers as well. I still want to see more of the stream, but I have to go. It's 10-1 here. That's late. See before also to finally see some professionals actually do what I've been missing here. I'm so glad you're here. I can't wait to see you next time, SJS. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it a lot. Hopefully we'll see you again soon. I'm live nearly every day. The time changes a little bit, but we're live nearly every day. So I appreciate you hopping in so much, and thank you for joining the family, man. See you next time. Hey, you as well. Get confidence as well on your track. Facts. Should I record the higher harmony twice so I have it left and right, or is one to the left and a low? I would double track the harmonies. I personally like a double tracked harmony. I think that it just offers a bit more energy, a bit more movement, right? So if you're gonna have a centered lead so typically what I would do, this is different for every track. It depends on how you are structuring your music. It's gonna be different for every artist, but typically have your lead front and center forward, have a low octave underneath it, maybe panned offset slightly. You can double track as well. Have a great night, kids. Christmas. Oh, let's go. Sounds awesome. I appreciate it. Have a great night, kids. Christmas concert. Let's go, Smokey. I'm excited to hear all about it, man. Sounds awesome. I appreciate you stopping by for a little bit as well. Okay. So yeah, like lead vocal front and center, low octave, either singular and underneath it, maybe offset slightly. But your harmonies, I would typically double track. It's not a rule. It just kind of depends on what you're looking for, but I would typically speaking double track your harmonies as well so that you can get a little more width out of it, especially in this style. If you're doing more like modern pop and like contemporary pop and stuff like that, you're typically going to want a pretty good stack of vocals, and I do think it's more beneficial that way. All right, let's keep it moving. Make sure y'all like tapping the screen over on TikTok. Share out the live with a few people. The TikTok algorithm's been a little wonky lately, so I'm hoping a couple likes and stuff will help it out a little bit. Jenna's in the building. What's up, Jenna? How you feeling today? So there's the vocal I'm kind of looking for. You have the I know it's killing me. That melody right there, that's what I'm looking for. It's got a higher range, it's got more projection, it's got more energy behind it, but you feel that go, it gets swallowed by the mix. It gets pulled way back. Keep that vocal forward. Keep that vocal confident. Keep that vocal projected. That's what you want out of this. That's where like I immediately hear more energy out of your vocal, even though it's quieter. I hear more energy out of it. Your vocal's 5 dB quieter because it falls way out of the mix. You probably backed off the mic a little bit. It's quite a bit quieter right there. Keep that forward. Keep that energetic. Like keep that energy forward. You've got a lot of great life behind your vocal there, and I feel like that's what I'm missing earlier on in the song, where that register stays really comfortable. So definitely beef that up. Get a really, really solid take right there, and make sure that vocal is forward in the mix by a couple more dB so that your engineer, once again, knows that is the lead vocal that's forward. It should be prominent. It should be energetic, so on and so on. let me get into this next section out here. Shout out to Ricks though, man. Shout out to Ricks. And then you said there's going to be some, I think you said German lyrics, right? Or spoken word over this. So I'm going to leave that as is because I know that's going to be filled out a little bit more there. OG, welcome in. I would encourage you. Okay, so if you're not able to, I think you said, like you said, you can stack the harmonies a little bit more on your hook early on, get more energy behind that, more emoting behind that. On your last hook, in order for it to not feel too looped and too consistent and too dry, I would highly recommend that you add in a fresh vocal that's ad-libs that lifts the song a little bit more towards the end here, right? So we back up here for a second. This ends. Having just, you know, having some energy, some falsetto, some higher, even like, you know, chest voice, mixed voice there to offer just a little bit more energy behind it. Yeah, ad-libs are planned and then some vocal chops in. Okay, beautiful, perfect. So you already have those in the works. I would definitely have a lead in coming out of your instrumental here. You know what I mean? Like build up some tension, build up some energy there, and give it a bit more openness and vibrancy on this last hook. Otherwise, it will feel copied. It'll feel looped over, and your dynamics just go from here, down a bit, back to here, down a bit, back to here, from your verse to your hook. But there's no like fresh information, no new life, no new, you know, sonic information to make it feel interesting and engaging to the listener. So I would just make sure that you do add that in. I would add some in the production, potentially, you know, maybe one other little element, not even necessarily anything specific, but just something to help warm up the mix a little bit more, add some layers to the vocals there, and really open up the mix as you get into this last hook. The lower part, any tips to singing it more energetically? I think probably the easiest answer to that, and you know, without me, if it's that low, let me hear real quick. I mean, you have a good, I don't have that low of a voice. You have a good low register to your vocal, and it actually comes through pretty clear. One of the things that will help with the energy is compression of that and pushing that information forward. Because like right now, that vocal just falls out of the mix. But if you have me without me, and there's like more energy, like you have a better low register than I do, and you have a little bit more energy behind it, a little bit more projection behind it than the way that you're singing it, and you compress it and you push it forward, you're gonna have a bit more life behind it in the mix regardless, without it overtaking the lead vocal. But another thing that I would suggest is just comping. If you're finding like you're having a hard time at a much, much lower register with breath control and energy, so you meant the mix understood. Meant the mix understood I should re-record the verses. Not necessarily. I mean, you can. I mean, the reason why, if you're asking if you should re-record the verses, the reason why you should re-record the verses if you don't feel like you've emoted properly, and that's up to you. I can tell you kind of what I feel a little bit, like where there's some areas where I feel like the vocal lacks like emotion, or it feels a little red, as opposed to performed. You know what I mean? And this happens to everyone. We're sitting here like this, right? We're on our phone. Without me, and you're reading the lyrics, and it feels a bit less emotive. It feels a little bit more sterile and scripted as opposed to performed. If that's what you feel as well, then I would maybe re-record them, and try to emote a little bit more, memorize your lyrics, comp in. If you're having trouble with your low register of your vocal, if you're having trouble with the low register of your vocal, or breath control, or energy in those parts, and emoting a little bit more, remembering your lyrics, whatever it may be, then I would encourage you to just comp your vocals and take it line by line. Just do the first sentence of the verse, get it perfect, get it strong, get it powerful, get it emotional, switch to the next one, comp that in, fade it in. switch to the next one, crossfade, drop it in, and make sure that it all feels really, really smooth and clean and clear. That's what there's a lot of people that do one take and they go all the way through a verse and stuff like that. I've done that a couple times, but more often than not, I prefer to comp. I prefer to offer each word and sentence and part of a song as much emotion as possible, if it's, if I have the capacity to, and really give it a fair shot. So comping is going to be, I think, one of the best ways for you to do that. Y'all show some love. Show some love to Ricks. Ricks, thank you so much for sending this in. I really appreciate it. You do have a good production structure. You have some good energy behind your layering and those higher vocals that you bring in. I feel like those are really vibrant. I just want the whole song to kind of feel that way. I want your transitions to feel really strong. I want the position of your layers to be strong. And I want to feel the emotion and the projection behind that vocal without it just falling out of the back of the mix. So make sure that when you go into the hook, that you push that vocal forward, because we don't want the what you send to the engineer to have a balance to it where they don't know where to put stuff, right? So make sure you start panning already. Make sure you start putting vocals forward and back where you want them, so it's very clean and clear exactly where you want that engineer to put your vocals. Y'all, give it up one time for the family. Ricks, thank you so much for sending this in. We've got some more family in the building. Dude, 100%, dude. I'm so excited for you. Thank you, Ricks. Thank you for sending that in. I appreciate it a lot. Thank y'all so much for tapping the screen too. If you're over on TikTok, make sure you're tapping the screen. Share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send in your Heart Me for the day. It does help out the live stream substantially. So thank you so much for that. If you would like to submit your music for a consultation over on TikTok, make sure that you go to my profile, click on the link, and you'll see all the details that you need right there. And if you are on YouTube, go to the description. If you're on Twitch, type !submit in the chat, and you'll see everything that you need. We've got some more music to get to. We've got Kai in the building. Kai, hop in the chat and let me know that you're here just so I can make sure I don't listen without you. No pun intended, because I feel like that was the last lyric that we just listened to. There's Kai in the building. Thank you so much for hopping in. It's your time. It's your time. It's your time. We've got Derek on the board as well. Hey, sounds good, Ricks. Thank you so much for sending in today. I appreciate it a lot. I appreciate that a lot. Shout out to Ricks. All right, we have, let's see, Archetype Unknown. This is a SoundCloud link. Let's pull this up really quick. Let me get this downloaded here. This is Who Is Kai. Now, Kai, I've heard your music before, right? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Let me know. Well, beautiful, fantastic. Let's go. If I haven't before, then I'm excited to. I know a couple Kais. That might be where I'm getting confused. Because there's a couple Kais that have been in this community for a while. So one of them changed their name to a different artist name, and then another one changed the part around the Kai. And so I get a little confused with the Kai sometimes. But shout out to Who Is Kai right here in the chat. This is Archetype Unknown. This is the OG Kai. This is a real one. Everyone else can sit down. We got the real Kai in the building. They're over on Twitch right now. Who is Kai? This is the real Kai over here. I love, maybe as you can tell, I love details. I love context. I love details. So I'm mid-30s Kai. We have experienced Kai. We have mature Kai. Kai that's been through some shit. Let's get, yeah, exactly. All these young Kais don't know. Let's get into it, man. I'm excited to hear your music. Let's dive in. Talk to me about details. Talk to me about your role in this track. Where did you get the production? Is this a BeatStars lease? Is it you two? Did you get it yourself? Did you produce it yourself? Are you working with musicians and producers? Are you self-engineering? Are you going to a studio, working with an engineer? Give me some details, and let's dive into it. This is on a SoundCloud, and Kai, if you're over on TikTok or YouTube, Kai is over on Twitch. So come say hi to them. Let's get into it. This is Archetype Unknown by Who Is Kai. I like your sound design.
If you actually get a strong hit of it, which is in no way dangerous, but simply a true boundary dissolving hit, it's into some place. It's almost like...
There we go. I want to back it up. It was turned down on SoundCloud. I don't know why. There we go. That's better.
If you actually get a strong hit
What's
of
going
it,
on?
which is in no way dangerous, but simply a true boundary-dissolving hit. It's into some place. It's almost like...
Hey. Tasty.
Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums.
Nasty. Automation's beautiful. Are you on Ableton? You sound like you're on Ableton. You might not be, but you sound like you're on Ableton. Hell yeah, he's on Ableton. This is some Ableton type shit right here. This is Ableton automations, if I've ever heard it. Ear candy, man. Come on. Come on. Come on, come on. Y'all show some love. That is Who Is Kai, the OG, the mature one. It's a weird name, but Who Is Kai? Come on, man. Yeah, I won't say that one. But y'all show some love. So easy now. Show some love to Kai. Show some love to Kai. Let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top. I got my boundaries. No, I'm playing. Let's get into it from the top. Let's run it. Let's run it. Let's see. Rick 3, thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you being here. Do you care about songs language? If you don't care, I can send you something. Not at all. We will get songs from all over the world, different languages, different styles. I love it. Music is universal. So I don't have to know the language to understand the quality of it and the structure of it. So I would absolutely love to hear what you got. I appreciate you hopping in over on TikTok as well. If you would like to submit, or if you want to read the details of it, go to my profile, click on the link, click on Track Talk Submission, and just read through the details there. This is Who Is Kai, Archetype Unknown. They're over on Twitch right now. Let's get into the details. I mean, starting out, this is it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's ear candy. It's tasteful. There is a really fine line between tasteful Foley and sound design and automation and noise and busyness. There's a fine line. And I feel like only really like mature producers and quality producers understand that line. And this is the same for, stuff like this. The same for hyperpop. It's the same for a lot of electronic music like EDM and house and lo-fi. It's the same for metal. It's the same for drill. Like it's the same for any genre. There is a fine line between having a wall of sound and a lot of information, and it's still being palatable to listen to. Palatable for a consumer to actually want to listen again and again and again. I feel like this is a great balance. It's a great balance, man. It's really, really, really well done. Let's get into it. Let's run it from the top. Rig, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. All the details are right there. All right, let's dive in. Archetype Unknown. Let's run it from the top. I love it. Sometimes you gotta, they said, thanks bro, so fun trying to find that balance too. Sometimes you just gotta like throw things at the wall and see what sticks. You know what I mean? Like sometimes it's just like you put a bunch of stuff out there and then you restrain a little bit. Part of the fun is like putting all of your good ideas out there and then trying to find a way for them to fit. So one of them you're going to filter, one of them you're going to automate your cutoffs, another one you're going to have some crazy LFOs and modulation curves. On another one you're going to be doing a whole bunch of like ring modulation and EQ filtering and stuff to make it fit. Like I think sometimes what's fun is like putting all of the good sounds that you like in a song and then just finding where you need to carve for it to fit, right? I'm going to chop here. I'm going to give this instrument space here. I'm going to filter over here and just find a creative way to introduce all of the beautiful elements that you want in the mix. Not everyone is like talented enough to do that, right? I think the next artist, I might say something different. The next artist might be like, hey, restrain, pull back, simplify, and build from there. But if you know what you're doing, you can throw a lot. You can throw a lot at a DAW and restrain from there and polish from there and kind of, see through the trees a little bit and you're in a good spot. Let me gotta confirm I'm on TikTok. Yes, I'm here. 1 second. There we go. Beautiful. And we're back. Perfect. All right. Let's dive in. See. Exactly. I throw a shitload of things in the pot and then subtract what doesn't taste good. Exactly. Let's run it. Let's run it from the top. Archetype unknown. Who is Kai? The OG. Let's run it. It's time for Kai.
If you actually get a strong hit of it, which is in no way dangerous, but simply a true boundary dissolving hit, it's into some place.
It's already like before even the drop hits. So I love synthesis, as you can tell. Maybe synthesis is one of my favorite things. Like dealing with synthesis, automations, and analog synthesis, like my favorite thing in the world. I love it so much. I am already just a fan of the way you're building your sound design and building movement. It's not just like a stuttered, like gated LFO that feels really rigid and pumped by a phantom sidechain on a kick or something like that. It feels like it not only has this attack to it, like on the envelope, like it has this nice little movement and attack to it and this pumping to it that is really nice, but it also has like automations on the filter to open up as well, whether that's like an LFO that's feeding that or however you're doing it, right? But you have this automation on the filter to give it that little bit of resonance that opens, like as that filter opens, you get this nice little, you get this nice little movement there that's like subtle and it's tasteful and it's really, really well done. To me, it just, it's a great amount of texture early on that makes it feel alive, like there's movement to it, like there's expression to it, without it feeling like it has to be noisy and that there has to be like 10 layers to it. You could have like 3 things in here, like, a sub bass that cuts in, a synth that comes in with the pulse, and then of course you have this like kind of pad in the background, the synth in the background. You don't have, and of course you got some Foley in there. You got some babbling brooks in the background and stuff like that. So there's some layers here, but within those layers, there's just a lot of nuance. Within those layers, there's a lot of movement, which allows few things to feel like a lot of things and have a lot of texture and a lot of character to it. So just props to you in that space. You're allowing a little bit of sound to feel like a lot of information, and I think that's a super difficult thing to do for newer producers and stuff like that. Less is more for my 100%. And it's like, it's less is more in a specific way, right? Cause you might still find that you have like 20 instruments and a bunch of automation curves and stuff like that, but it's less is more, as in not a lot of things tend to be happening at the same time. There's a producer on, why can't I think of his name? He's on TikTok. I follow him on TikTok. He's a really, really talented producer, kind of in the same style. God, I wish I could remember his name. Can't remember his name right now. It's going to bother me. But either way, he works a lot in this space too. And he talks about that a lot, where part of what makes what he does so powerful is it's not 15 things happening all at once, right? It's not a stack of information happening all at once. It's one drum hit, percussive hit, synth stab, movement, swell, reverse hit, again, happening in tandem and in sequence that makes this feel so like broad, right? And like so like high information, even though not that many things are happening all at once. Someone once said listeners like to listen to one thing at a time, kind of in line with 100%, and in this genre specifically too, right? Now, obviously, that might be different from blast beats on a metal drum set with quad-tracked rhythm guitars, 2 leads and a synth, and then a stack of screaming vocals. That is a bit different, obviously, but in this genre and kind of in this space, a lot of the electronic space, I agree, especially with this kind of funky swung beat that you have here, that definitely is in line. Yeah, that's definitely in line with what I'm listening to here, where you have each element sits in its pocket, it sits in its space, and offers very intentional and specific information to the mix, which I absolutely love. Wait, you say is stakes in here, Shane? Is that what you're saying? Did I miss stakes? All right, let's get into the drop.
It's almost like
even right, just as a quick example of it. Again, I love what you're doing, Kai. So I don't think I have. I'll listen for things as we go. I don't think I have any critiques. No, it's not. It's a bit. They're big. It's not Stakes. He's a specific producer who I don't know him. His name's like Graz or something. I can't think of this, something like that. But they're a really prolific producer in this genre specifically, or close to this genre specific. I wish I could think of his name, but maybe it'll come back to me later. But even just here with this, you introduce your sub bass and it's fuzzy and it's got some energy to it. You bring in the percussion, but you cut hats just in time to bring in a vocal sample with the yell over the top, a bit of reverb over that. Cut again back into the beat. Everything just trades places. Your energy is constantly really clean in this song. I love it, dude. I love it so much. You're super talented. This is great. Got you, Ray. Thank you so much. I got you. Let me get you up there. Like right there, you bring in kind of the hiccup, burp, whatever it is, right? You pause, bring that in, bring it back in, switch over here. Like there's so much like movement and life to positioning, to amplitude, so on and so on. Let's go. I'm hyped for you, man. Let me get Rig up on the board. Thank you so much for hopping in. I appreciate you so much.
Don't try to identify the sounds you're hearing. Simply allow them to play with your eardrums.
Got you on the board, Rig. Thanks, bro. Means a lot dude. Of course. I mean it. Been a long time goal for me to start taking what has been in my head and putting it into a DAW, especially after all the LSD and DMT I put into my head. It's time to get some of that creativity out. You know what I'm saying? To release the colors, as if you will. I love it, man. I love it. No, you're talented, man. You can tell there's a lot of creative things bouncing around your head, and you're doing some good stuff, man. I'm excited to hear more from you. You're very, very talented. So my main goal right now is just to draw attention to what you're doing so that anybody listening on any of the 3 platforms that we're live on right now can maybe take some of that into their own production, right? Like whatever the genre is, when we're looking for clarity in a mix, we're looking for positioning and polish on these different elements, how to automate and stuff like that. I want everybody to be able to learn from what that sounds like and what to look for and train their ear for their own music. And you're doing this great, man. Seriously, very, very talented. It's just the back and forth, man. The back and forth is beautiful. I just want to keep drawing attention to it. It's so well done. Sorry, I keep stopping it. It's kind of what we do on the second listen anyways, but it's beautifully done. Nice, man. Nasty. Did you release to platforms yet, Kai? You also just have a very, very subtle swing to your drums, and it's just enough to lift this off the grid. You have this in your percussion as well, obviously because of some of your movements and some of your automation here. You get these really nice like bends and portamentos and slides that are beautifully, beautifully done that kind of take you off of your pitch grid as well as your timing grid, but you match that with the drums. Another one of the reasons why this feels so cohesive. If those drums aren't lined up, right, there's a little bit of swing to your hats and snare that pulls it just off the grid, gives you a little bit of dip, a little bit of swing to the drums, and to me, that makes it feel so in line with the rest of your production structure, right? Everything's a little late, it's a little bendy, it's a little, it's not too polished, it's a little grimy, and that to me is what makes this style so enticing to listen to. Is there's a time and place for rigidity, right? There's a time and place for things to feel like polished and exactly in line with what they're supposed to be. This is not the place, and this is not the time. This is, it feels like it's got a lot of energy to it and a lot of grunge to it that I really appreciate. So I feel like you've executed polishing those two things together and compartmentalizing that really, really well, where everything feels like it's pointed in the same direction. Everything feels a little late, a little bendy, not too polished, but still being balanced and introduced in a way that sounds really good and sounds really cohesive. No waiting for a label to see if they want it or not, then I'll probably just release. Got you. Yeah, I know a lot of people that are doing like individual single deals especially for electronic music, especially with like Sirius FM, trying to get like some stream deals for them and some solo deals for individual songs, especially in like EDM, dubstep, lo-fi, house, stuff like that. So I understand wanting to go that route 100%. And just see what your options are. Pitch it to a bunch of people, see who bites, and then if not, just throw it to platforms and get all the royalties anyway. Make some half decent content, perform a bit, and you'll be good. Those like paper rips whoosh, straight across the screen, man. The auto pan, it's nasty. Crazy bounce between mono and stereo too. You'll have this like huge bass on the outside it has a lot of like modulation to it. You get these nice little wows and envelopes that are moving. That balance between bum, 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 and then moving down the middle, this feels so alive. It's 3D. It's coming at you from all directions, man. So killer. Same with the vocal samples. Nasty. Dude, keep doing your thing, man. Keep doing your thing. It's killer. It's nasty. And here's my thing too. Like, the only thing that I really care about, even as like a professional audio engineer, the only thing that I like really care about is, does it make you feel something? In any genre and any, level of quality, does it make you feel something, right? So everyone has a different perspective on mixing. Everyone has a different perspective on what they like from their low end and their high end. Even like 10 different Grammy-winning engineers could all have a different perspective on what they want to hear out of a track, right? And you could send them stems and they'd give you something completely different back, right? So I'm not one to like try to nitpick things for the sake of nitpicking, right? I want you to feel something. So sometimes the flaws in a record, the movement in a record, the issues to someone else in a record are the exact reason why you feel something in it, right? The feedback from the electric guitar, the buzz from the gear, the oversaturated bass that's clipped to hell on the master. Sometimes that is the very thing that offers you feeling and emotion in a record. It can also be, for a different song, can be the reason why you have like mud and you're missing clarity and distinction and no one feels anything that you're saying vocally, right? There's a balance, right? And that's why I try to just listen track to track. Like feel the energy on one track, feel the energy on another track, and does what's happening in the track serve that energy? Does it offer you what you want to get out of the track? In this case, I feel like what you're doing, I feel like the structure that you have here is so nasty and it makes me want to move. It makes me furrow my brow. You know what I'm saying? It gave me a stank face. Like, it's good. It feels good. I feel like you are you're translating the emotion that you have accurately and authentically in this track, and it's coming across. I feel like it makes, I'm just like looking on your SoundCloud, you just put this out, and even just within the last like couple hours, couple days, So many people that are commenting like, dude, this is so crazy. It's like beautifully done. So you just need to keep doing what you're doing, man. I am excited to hear more from you. I like what you're doing stylistically. The quality is really good. You're a great producer that's putting time and effort and intention behind what they do, and you should be very proud of what you're doing, man. Show some love. That is Who Is Kai. You're preaching gospel. That's my goal. Pull emotion out of people. Facts. Any style of music, it should be the same thing. I don't care if it's like basic pop or metal or R&B or country or whatever it may be. That's the goal should be to relay emotion. The more accurately and authentically you can relay that emotion, and then people feel what you are feeling or what you want them to feel, the better off you're going to be, no matter if you got money behind you or not. So many tracks that brought me to tears from how well it was made. I hope to invoke that in people. I love it, man. And I 100% believe you will. Y'all, please show some love. That is Archetype Unknown. It's only out on SoundCloud right now. The artist, the producer is Who Is Kai. Please go show some love and support to this record, man. You're not going to be disappointed. I'm excited to hear more from you. Yeah, you're a beast, man. Y'all, give it up one more time. All right, quick little spiel before we get into the next track. We got some more music coming in right now, man. I am so excited for the music today. Y'all are already, man, the music has already been incredible. Let's get into these next couple tracks. But before we do, if you have never been here before, I'm going to talk about what we do just to remind people what is going on in this live stream, so that you have an idea of what is happening as we go through here. This live stream is called Track Talk. If you've never been here before, these are 20 to 30 minute live streamed consultations where artists, producers, engineers, musicians, songwriters, etc. They send in their music. We listen to those tracks 2 to 3 times over about 20 to 30 minutes to dive into the details and the nuances of their mix and master, production elements, sound design, lyric and song formatting and structure, so on and so on. The goal is to offer professional and actionable feedback, offer a professional second set of ears to the structure of their music, and give them specifics that they can use to polish and improve on their craft, or if it's already phenomenal, like Kai, to offer some, tools for anybody else that is listening to train their ear to listen for these things in their own music as well. And for those of you who don't know, my name is Torvik. I'm a full-time audio engineer, producer, and session musician. It's what I do for a living. It's what I've done for 13 plus years. I'm also a classically trained musician, so a lot of our perspective that we hold here is from that place. It's to offer just the tools, the advice, the tips that I've learned over the years to help you polish what you're doing. It is not a roast live. It's not a quick review. There's no trash or pass. There's no ratings. There's no polls. It is strictly about getting into the details and nuances of your music to offer actionable feedback. If that's interesting to you and you're on TikTok, you can go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission. If you're over on Twitch, type !submit in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, go to the description for the live stream. You'll see all the details right there at that link. Let's get into this next track. Give me just one moment to make sure that I have everything updated here really quick. All right, so is it? Oh, I think I've been calling you Rig. Is it Rigel? Am I saying that wrong? Sorry, I'm just seeing the 3 on the email here now, so I think is it Rigel? Am I saying that correctly? And then let me update this over here. Let me update this really quick. And let me make sure I've got everything in order on my line really quick. I'm going to throw up the line just for a second. I'm going to switch screens over on TikTok. All right, we got Derek in the building. Derek, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. And if you're on TikTok, make sure y'all are tapping the screen. Tap the screen. Share out the live with a few people. Don't forget to send in your heart rate for the day. It does help out the live stream. It helps boost exposure just a bit. Derek's over there. Beautiful. Got you. All right, Derek, it's your time. It's your time. Let's get into the track. I'll throw this up here for just a second, and then we'll switch back. I don't know why TikTok is. I don't know. Maybe it's because maybe because it's so the likes and everything are so. I don't know. TikTok's been just kind of dead lately. I don't know. I'm really liking YouTube and Twitch, but I do like YouTube. But it just tends to be really quiet lately. Really quiet. All right. Let's see. Let's get this pulled up here. Let's see. JC's in the building. What's up, JC? Welcome in. All right, this is unmixed. Nothing would make me happier than to have like YouTube be like the main platform. That'd be really cool. I would love that. I mean, in fact, we have the same amount of people right now on like YouTube. All right. JC, if you would like to submit, so these are really quick. I'm going to switch screens here. I'm going to get out of the line just for a second so I can get back over here to our main screen. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, and click on Track Talk Submission so you can read through all of the details right there for the structure of the live stream. We're going to get into it's a Christian group that we have. Beautiful, dude. Beautiful. You might like the song we're about to listen to. This is a cinematic worship song from Derek Bennett. You might have come in just in time. Cinematic worship song. This is With Me by Derek Bennett. He's over on YouTube right now. I get more video views on YouTube than TikTok by a bunch. Yeah, I mean, I really like TikTok as a platform. Like, obviously, like we started this live stream on TikTok 3 years ago, and started doing consultations over there 3 years ago. But it just, I mean, through them selling it and it getting banned for a while and coming back, and it's all this changes that it's gone through. It's just got, I don't know, it's lost its luster. It's lost its shine. You know what I mean? Like, it just doesn't feel the same. It doesn't feel the same over there. And the platform feels like just quieter, a bit more dead. The algorithm's gotten just way more commercial and weird. And I don't know, it just doesn't feel like what it used to feel like. And this happens with every platform. Don't get me wrong. I'm not like, this is not a TikTok issue. It happens on Instagram, happens on YouTube, whatever. But I do feel like YouTube is much more consistently and broadly consumed. I mean, there's like a billion people on YouTube, and shorts are growing more and more and more. I don't feel like YouTube is as connected as TikTok is, which is why I do like TikTok. TikTok, I feel like you're closer to your audience, like the comment sections and the interactions and the shares and all of that on TikTok, I feel like are much more like direct and close, and you're in more real time. Like, I'll come across things on TikTok, and it feels a lot more connected. I feel very close to people on TikTok. And YouTube, I feel it feels very kind of distant and corporate sometimes, outside of maybe the streams like this, right? Where I can chat with y'all right now and we can connect a little bit closer. But like YouTube is much more polished, where we're creating distinct content as a creator on there, and it's a little bit different, right? Instagram is working really bad nowadays. Yeah, Instagram sucks. I hate Instagram. Instagram feels like what Facebook became like 10 years ago. You know, like there was a turn on Facebook where all of a sudden Facebook became kind of like weird and old and whatever. And now I feel like Instagram is like a bunch of like AI videos and people don't know they're AI or something. And it's just like odd. Like the whole feeling there, I just don't like. I still post there. Like, and whatever I post on TikTok, sometimes I'll post it over to TikTok. Or I'm sorry, I'll post it over to Instagram. But I don't know. There's some, I don't know exactly what it is. There's something about Instagram I just don't like. Something about it I don't like. All right, let's get it, Derek. Let's dive in. This is With Me by Derek Bennett, featuring Paola Barba. Let's get into it. Unmixed. This is unmixed, and this is a cinematic worship song. Let's get into it. What? What the hell? Why did it do that? Oh, it's playing from a different file. I was like, what in the world is going on? It started playing another song. My bad. This is With Me by Derek Bennett. Derek said over on YouTube, Instagram could disappear tomorrow and I'd just be like, oh, okay. Anyways, no, literally. None of like all of my like business and all of my like different things that I do happen through TikTok. You know what I mean? Like, and then, you know, that's not always obviously the healthiest thing to do. Some comes through Instagram, but like I said, you're more connected on TikTok. So when I post about like tracking synths and stuff like that, like I'll get a message right then and someone will be like, hey, I have a track I need done by this weekend. Can you do session work? And I'm like, yes. And I get hired, and it's right there. Instagram feels just way more disconnected. It just doesn't feel as closely connected. It's different. It's different. You know, it has its pros and cons, I'm sure, but they have no live algorithm. They don't really have, you know, a lot of things going for them in that space. So they're behind. They're behind in a lot of ways. They're always playing catch up with their features to TikTok. They don't pay creators over there at all, which is obviously a difference between the creator fund on TikTok, which I'm not a part of at all. I can't be, but the creator fund on TikTok, or the partner program for YouTube and stuff like that, which we're really close to. We're almost there. All right, let's get into it. This is Dead Dream. No, it's not. Why does this keep switching? Jesus, computer, work with me. With Me by Derek Bennett. Let's get into it. Hunter's in the building. Hunter, welcome in over on TikTok. Good to see you, bro. Hope you're doing amazing. Appreciate you hopping in. All right, let's go, Derek. Any details, let me know. Good to see you, man. Appreciate you being here.
I know you're with me, even when I can't feel it. I
a new vocalist, right?
even when I can't feel
Okay,
it. Fill the room with your presence. Fill the room with your spirit.
The one with the range. That's our protocol for.
This place. I know you're with me in the valley or the mountain high. I know you're with me.
Is that your voice in the background?
When my faith is feeling weak.
What's up, Jenna? There you are. It's good to see you.
Fill the room with your presence.
Nice, Derek. Good job, man.
Fill the room with your spirit. Come feel this
Hunter with the galaxy. I'm gonna get you on my board, man. I'm gonna get you on my board. Hold on. After this song. Thank you, dude. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate you. Shout out to Hunter, man.
Let the Holy Spirit move. Let the Holy Spirit move. Fill us with your presence. Let the Holy Spirit move. Fill us with your presence. Let the Holy Spirit, let your Holy Spirit even when I can't feel it.
Is that session guitarist? Native Instruments?
Even when I can't feel it.
Beautiful. Y'all show some love. I know it. I know it. I know my plugins. Y'all show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Derek Bennett. The song is called With Me, featuring Paola Barba. Really, really incredible vocalist. She does have amazing, amazing range. I want to talk about some like vocal structure here, some production structure, and let's get into it. But first, we got to show some love to Hunter Durham over on TikTok. Thank you for the gift, man. Thank you for the galaxy. It means so much. I do not take that for granted, man. Thank you so much for the galaxy. I appreciate that so much. I got to get you on my galaxy board here really quick. For those of you who don't know, we have Libby drew this, the beautiful, beautiful artwork. We have our galaxy board here. So anyone who sends in a galaxy gets himself up on the board. And we're gonna fill this board with just members of the community. Y'all are so amazing. I appreciate the love and generosity so much. So let me get Hunter up here. I want to make sure that I get everything in the right spot here. Shout out to Hunter, man. I appreciate you so much. Let's get you over here. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We got Hunter on the board. So we got Cuff, Hunter, Life, Twice, Kimura, Doug Riley. We got the family. We got the family on the board. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are amazing. Thank you for that. All right, let's get into this record by Derek Bennett. Quick reminder, if you want to submit, go to my profile, click on the link, click on Track Talk Submission. You'll see all of the details right there. If you're on YouTube, go to the description. If you're on Twitch, type ! Submit right there in the chat. Let's dive in. This is Derek Bennett. This is closer to the Testament stuff that we've heard in the past. a little bit still cinematic at its core, but a little bit more contemporary. So I'm excited to get into this and break it down, man. Thank you so much for sending this in. Let's run it from the top. The biggest thing I'm kind of like aware of, even just like seeing the file and hearing what I just heard, is making sure it has power, but it has dynamic range. I want to make sure there's some give and take. I want to make sure that there's maybe a little bit more range and loudness, range and dynamics, since right now I feel like it's probably a bit prominent for a long period of time. So that's kind of what I'm going to listen. I'm going to go back to it, obviously, like we always do. That's kind of what I'm listening for, is making sure that this still has moments of relief and then moments of power, moments of relief, moments of power. All right, let's get into it. Shout out to Derek. Pumping out music like crazy these days.
I know you're with me, even when I can't feel it.
Like, this is a good, intimate, vulnerable intro.
I know you're with me.
Nice.
Even when I can't feel
I want to go back. I want to go back through here. Hold on.
it.
I want to go back through these lyrics too a little bit too.
I know you're with me, even when I can't feel it. I know you're with me, even when I can't feel it.
I would. So that's what I was listening for the first time I heard it, and then the second time through as well. I would change. Again, we'll talk about a little bit of like songwriting and stuff like that too. I would change the lyric on that B section there too. It's the exact same lyric again. I think exact same melody structure over the same progression. I think it's the first part of the song. You definitely have space for a lot more variety. You have space for. I like the repetition of melody. I think the repetition of melody is going to help it be more catchy and more structured and give you some, catchy elements here. Having a tight structure for your vocals there, I think, is great. But having an exact replication of the lyric from one section to the next in a very uncomplex, like production and song structure, to me feels like we could dig in there and find a separate lyric to fit right there. Just because immediately it kind of will start to feel more monotonous and feel like it doesn't lead anywhere else. There's no like new information. So I personally, I think the first lyric is fine. Like, I know that you're with me even when I can't feel it. And then on the second section, I feel like you could probably pretty easily, I don't think it would be very hard for you at all, to change the lyric on the second stuff and just find a rhyme on the second bar right there to make sure that those lyrics still match, but maybe aren't the exact same thing. That might make it feel a bit too simplistic or too monotonous.
Fill the room with your presence, even when I can't feel it. Fill the room with your presence. Fill the room with your spirit. God, come fill this place. I know you're
And then straight back to second verse, right?
God, come fill this place.
I would probably, just structurally speaking, so that again, we're compartmentalizing our dynamics a little bit better, I'd probably do a double right there. So, gonna feel this place to the C sharp, and then have a double of that melody right there too, right? So double melody early, but maybe change the lyric so it doesn't feel too much of the same, and then have a little bit more structure to the hook right there, so where that has its own moment dynamically right there. That also allows you, since you have a big moment with a double lyric or a double melody there, it allows you to come down and still have it feel, more vulnerable and tighter dynamically when you move to this next section here. I like the lyric and melody change here too. That definitely adds a lot to it, similar to kind of what we're talking about early on with the first verse. I like this. Like that change in melody right there sounds really nice.
In the valley or the mountain high, I know you're with me. When my faith is filled.
That's what I'm looking for, right? So you have the I know you are with me, and then the in the valley or mountain high, right? That melody change there. Now, I know you're with me, and then you change the lyric on the B section. That's exactly what I'm looking for on that first moment. Exactly what I'm looking for. So if you can do that on that first verse in the most subtle way, because this one has a build of energy, that one you can leave a little bit more restrained and lower dynamically. Then I think that's what I'm looking for. I would keep the same melody just like you have it, because it's the first part of the song. It's simple, it's clean, it's emotional. You don't need all the buildup just yet. But that structure, that format is what I would write with on that first one. Just like one extra line.
When my faith is feeling weak, feel the room or speak.
Hold on, I need to hear this real quick. So from the early structure, this would be, based on the first verse, this would be...
Fill the room with your presence.
Hold on.
I know you're with me.
I want to hear the structure and make sure it like matches the first verse.
When my faith is feeling weak, fill the room with your presence.
Okay, so this just because of the movement of this song and the BPM of the song, 2, 3, 4. You're at like, I don't know, like 65 BPM or something. Like it's a 70 BPM or lower. It's a pretty like slow moving song. Now there's good energy and good dynamics to it. So don't get me wrong there. I like all those elements about it, but I wouldn't spend too much time pushing parts of the song on and on and on. What I would probably do in order to consolidate this a little bit. So I would have your first verse, you're like 8 bars there, right? I would have your double verse. I'd double the hook right there going out of it. So you have a full structure of the hook. So like a full 8 there, come back down in the verse. And then instead of doing the personal preference, just energy wise, it gets you into the song a little bit quicker. Instead of doing the pre-chorus again, go straight into the chorus. So let me hear the chorus again here really quick.
The room with God
So I would go here. God,
or speak. God come fill this.
God come fill this place, right? So, okay, so I would, in my opinion, I'd do this.
With me. When my faith is feeling
Build up.
weak.
And then straight into God, come fill this place. Oh, no, God, come fill this place. And straight into the hook right there. Because you have this, what is happening to me emotionally is I get this big buildup of fill this place. You have all this energy, and then you're kind of if you follow the other structure, you're forced to take a step back, right? Because you build up, fill that, you have all this energy, this high vocal. Excuse me. Welcome back, Jenna. You have all this high energy, and then you take a step back in energy to do the pre and then launch again. And it just feels like the energy kind of it's just bouncing around this high range, and it doesn't ever give you the relief of just going to the hook, right? And getting there. I would, yeah, and then I would just double. So exactly what you just did. Do her high vocal, like verse exactly as is, right? Right here.
When my faith is feeling weak.
It's a beautiful harmony. It's a beautiful stack. I'm sorry, Jenna. It's a beautiful stack right there at the top. And so you have all this energy built and then go straight into God, come fill this place. I think it's the lyric, right? God, come fill this place. Go straight into that right there.
When my faith is feeling weak.
Don't fill this place. Oh. You go straight in. God, come fill this place. And have a big hook right there instead of going into the pre again. So I would, personally speaking, I'd cut the pre out, go straight into the hook right there, and then do another double, because I think you just do it once here too, right? Excuse me. Let me hear it really quick. The first one. So here, yeah, double up here. So that's the first one. Double up there at least once. Excuse me, these allergies, man. And then definitely double here. Let me hear it. Crazy range. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, that needs, because that's your hook right there, and there's only one line there. That to me is your hook. You only do it once early, and you only do it once there. I would do it here. I mean, again, I feel like I'm changing a lot of your structure, but to me, it needs the consistency in your structure for you to feel the emotion of it. It like moves. It's like too long on some melodies or like some lyrics, like that first verse, right, where it's the same lyric. And then other times it moves so far past it, so quick past it, that you don't get to feel it, right? So your first hook, the God come fill this place, that to me is the first hook. I would lock into that. I would do it twice there on the first time, and I'd probably do it 4 times on the second one. I know it sounds crazy, but it's quadrupling what you have there, but it's not even a full hook because it's just that one line. Or have some extra lyric. You could write out that lyric a little bit more if you want to, but I would definitely go into dun, 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 fill this place. You could have a second lyric. Dun, listen, I feel this. God, come fill this place. You know what I mean? Like you could have like 2 of the fill the places, 1 extra lyric, and then a fill the place at the end. You know, you can mess around with that lyric if you want to, but I feel like we need 4 measures of that, you know, to really get into that structure right there. Otherwise it passes so fast, you don't get to actually feel any of the energy behind it. So I would do a double on the first time just to get those 2 lyrics there. And then on this next time, we need 4 measures. We need to feel that hook. It needs to be a full hook where we feel the entire thing. So whether or not you just do fill this place 4 times, or you want to add some other lyrics there that are consistent and repetitive, I would definitely expand that, because you really do need like a full hook there to make it feel concise or make it feel cohesive, make it feel like it has structure. I hear sound, no picture. I can hear the show, no pictures. Dang, I'm sorry, Jenna. That's weird. Valley, welcome in. Joe's in the building. What's up, Joe? What's up, man? So this part here, does anyone know how to fix TV? I mean, I'm gonna give you the most basic way to fix it is just unplug it for 60 seconds and plug it back in. Okay, I love her vocal range here. The only thing that I'm kind of listening for as far as the structure of this is she's already there. If you're already, it's already up there. She's launching. It's crazy. It's a really, really high. It has, she's already there at like the climax of the song structure, at the highest range, at the highest energy. Going straight into this after that, this is where it's going to start to sound loud and noisy for like the last 2 minutes of the song, because you still have 2 minutes left. Minute of the song, last minute of the song. that's going to sound really, really loud, really, really high register, high dynamic. I'm curious how we can add a little bit more dynamic range, but let me listen just a minute further here. Welcome in, Nick.
Let the Holy Spirit
Yeah. So what I would probably do. Let me hear. I'm gonna do some manipulating here, and I'm curious how this would work. And again, you know the deal, Derek. If I'm doing too much, I'm doing too much. Feel free to do what you're doing and just use the polished parts that we're talking about and make it make sense. But I have an idea that, to me, what I'm kind of hearing in this song structure right now, if I'm honest, is it's just like a little bit disjointed, where you kind of have like a repeated lyric here, a one-line hook, a verse with changed lyrics, or a one-line hook, a verse with double changed lyrics, one-line pre, another one-line hook, an instrumental vocal tag, a bridge that's pretty short too, and then another like one-line hook towards the end. The outro is halfway through the instrumental dropping. So it's like the structure of it's very like disjointed. There's not a lot of like consistency as to how everything's kind of formatted. So what I'm kind of trying to figure out here is, how can we take what you have that is really good, good production structure, beautiful vocals, and some good lyrics in here, and how do we just like mold this into something that just makes like a little bit more sense structurally? So we already talked about finalizing your first verse so that those lyrics change the way that they should. Pre into a double hook, or just two lines, just a half hook, basically. That's like still a half hook. And then going back into your verse, no pre, back into a full hook, like a full 4-measure hook, and then maybe straight into a bridge. Honestly, probably no instrumental, straight into the bridge. That's kind of what my imagination is telling me right now. But I also have an idea. So let me hear something really quick. I have an idea to just throw this all off, actually. So there's another isolated singular lyric, right? So you kind of see how there's like 6 different parts of the song: the verse, the pre, the hook, and the bridge that happen like once or twice throughout the song. So you have like 7 or 8 times in the song where there's like an isolated lyric as opposed to like a full structure that works together. Here's my idea. That's not a bridge. That is actually part of your hook. And what you would do would be, okay, so how would this work? Let me work with me here. We got it. So we would have, okay, wait, let me hear that lyric again. This is your B section to your hook, back into the first part. Okay, so it would be this. God, come fill this place. Repeat. God, come fill this place. Here. Fill us with your presence. Let the Holy Spirit move. Oh God, come fill this place. That feels like a hook. You know what I mean? The repetition, the change to that one lyric with a change in melody back there, that feels like a whole hook. That feels that now we're just like pulling parts from different parts of the song and putting them together. And it to me, and this is my personal opinion, it immediately feels more like a song. That actually feels like a full hook now. So what I would do is, and again, let me know your thoughts on that, because I know I'm chopping your song up a little bit here, but everything else is largely the same. Second verse is the same. Start of your hook is the same. We would just be moving some things around. But to me, like even just singing that right there and imagining what that would be in the song, it immediately to me feels more like what an actual hook is. And like you have the change in melody, you have the original lyric these are all stuff that were already there in the song. We're just kind of like taking things that feel very distinct and separate. To be honest, you could probably splice it. You could, you know, you know me, fix it at the source. I'm a fan of this, you know, get it right the first time. You could, I Am Legend, welcome in. You could probably spice it because it's the same range. Because she goes, she's up there. She's going crazy. You could probably splice it. It would be interesting, but that part wouldn't, to be honest, that would be like the least of your worries. That wouldn't be, yeah, try that first. If it's choppy and nasty, then, you know, don't, you know, get it right, you know, get it done right. But that to me is like that's the least complex thing to do, right? Because you can literally just, even in the low register, to send a voice note or something, God, come fill this place. Oh God, come fill this place. Fill us with your presence. Let the Holy Spirit move. Oh God, come fill this place. I mean, it probably is more smooth because you can get kind of the, oh God, you know what I mean? Like you can get some of the connective tissue of your lyric structure to connect that bridge to the hook, and oh God, come fill this place. You can get everything like really smooth if it's re-recorded. Let's be honest, get it at the source. That's what we got to do, right? Every single time. That's what I'm going to prefer. But you can try by splicing it and just see if it works. If it doesn't, then of course, latch it in. But to me, what I would do is I would do that here.
Even when I can't feel it.
Let this move a little bit.
Fill the room with your spirit.
Here's your little build up here.
God, come fill this place.
I would do a whole hook here. God, fill this place. I would do a whole hook right there. Do the whole thing, compartmentalize it down to second verse. So I'll be honest with you. You should have her re-record that. If this is what you end up wanting to do, obviously this is up to you, man. It's your song. I know, and I'm chopping and screwing this thing now. She would need to re-record that because she needs an additional lyric structure there. So she would need to record that hook in that register because she's an octave higher on the next hook. So that hook needs to be consistent and it needs to be in its own register. I would do the whole thing there. Go back to the verse, no pre. So now here's what we got. So, and then let me go after this hook, and then I will, and you can reference this on the VOD if you need to get the whole thing, and I will bullet point it for you here at the end, so you know exactly what you're listening for and what you need to work on. I'm not worried about the production, honestly. There's some cool melody. Yeah, I'm focused on the vocals here. I think it's the most important part of this because they need to be retracked, some of it at least, and then the structure needs to be changed. So,
Even when I can't feel it.
yeah, you can bring all of this down there. That's fine. Okay, here's what we got. Can you imagine? Like a full octave. Yeah, just screaming it. Okay, here's what we got. Intro. First verse, we need to change the lyrics on the second half so you have a little bit more variety and it feels a little bit more well-written, okay? First part right there. Then you're gonna do your short pre-chorus right there. Perfect, no issues there. You build some energy. So intro, first verse with the changes, pre-chorus, full hook, and that lower register. Go back down to your second verse, no pre-chorus, big hook, high register. If you want to, you can even double that or do the instrumental afterwards. That's an option, right? Big hook, you do your oohs and ahs and some ad-libs afterwards as a big instrumental just to kind of climax the song, and then you bring it back down to the verse and the outro. That to me is really like concise and consistent and more of a typical song structure that doesn't feel too disjointed. Once again, intro, verse with changes, pre, full hook. Second verse, no pre, full hook, let's say instrumental, verse, outro. That to me feels seamless. I know we just rearranged your entire song structure. we just chop this verse, change this here, change this part here, cut this pre right here, take half of your bridge and put it in the middle of your hook and then go back to the hook. I know we just completely obliterated the structure of the song, but I genuinely feel the reason why I think it matters. I genuinely feel like if this structure is adjusted, otherwise I feel like it'll just be too hard to latch onto it. Yeah, and this was, like you said, this was written a while back too. So there's also parts of your process that have matured a lot as well. I think that if you're able to make some of these structural changes to the song, these formatting changes to the song, and get her to re-record those elements, and she's a powerhouse. I know she can do it. If you are able to do that, I feel like this song will genuinely feel more powerful, more dynamic, more impactful, and more emotional because you have time in each of these different spaces to feel those different elements. I can actually sit in them for a second. I'm not rushing through them to the next part or sitting on one lyric too long to where I'm not pulled into kind of the next part of the structure. I have enough movement and enough grounding for this to feel like a really cohesive, well-structured song. That is what I would do. Show some love to Derek Bennett. It's as simple as that. I'm sorry, Derek. It's like it's as simple as that. Just rearrange the whole thing. And that's tough. Production does sound great. I am still listening for the production. You have some beautiful little bell tone melodies and like bell melodies at the top there that I love. The piano sounds great. Everything being balanced as it always is with your engineer. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be really, really nicely done. I wanted something to do anyways, and I guess I found my project. Yeah, I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. Anon, thank you so much for hopping in. I 100% think it's worth it because it is a good song. It's a powerhouse vocalist, and you're a great producer. I think if you can dig into this for a second, chef's kiss. It'll be beautiful. I agree with Torvik here. That would add dynamic congruency, but I love this song. That's Shane Paul over on TikTok. Yeah, 100%. And I like the fact that you're doing a worship song. That's different. 100%. Yeah, cinematic contemporary worship song. It's really cool, man. Y'all give it up for Derek Bennett. Let's keep the music moving. Quick reminder that if you would like to submit for a 20 to 30 minute consultation, if you would like to dive into the details of your music, if you would like to completely rearrange your song structure and be frustrated with the project for the rest of the night, then definitely send in your music. If you're on TikTok, go to my profile. I'm so sorry. If you are on TikTok, go to my profile, click on Track Talk Submission. On the link, click on Track Talk Submission. You'll see everything you need right there. If you're on YouTube, go to my description. If you're on Twitch, type ! Submit right there in the chat, and you will see everything that you need in order to submit. These breakdowns are 20 to 30 minutes long. It's not a short review. They are long form analysis. We're going to get deep into as we just did, we're going to get deep into the structure, production elements. I'm going to go crying out. Bye. Peace. Shout out to Derek. No, shout out to Derek, man. Honestly, dude, you're so talented. You've been working crazy at your music. I love that you're able to update this track from an old production you were working on for Testament and get this kind of up to par. Now it's just structure, right? Now I think it's just like maturing with all of the skills that you've gained over the last 6 months to 12 months, right? Last year, 2 years. Now you just need to kind of bring some of those older projects back up to speed structurally. You've learned so much about structure lately that I feel like now it's catching back up a little bit with some older projects you're revisiting. Let's get into, we've got, is it Rigel? Am I saying that correctly? Rigel, hop in the chat. Let me know that you're here. I'm going to pull up your track right now. Thank you so much, Shane. I know, dude, TikTok has been so unbelievably slow. It's crickets. It's crickets on TikTok, man. But you have an amazing night as well, Derek. I appreciate you so much, man. Thank you for your support. Always thank you for your support. All right, let's get into this next track here. This next track here. Slow down, Torvik. This is Rigel Taldea. Let's get into it. I'm going to pull this up on YouTube, it looks like. I'm sending you the song called Animal. I made all the animations and the song is in Basque language. Let's get into it. I'm so excited. So, okay, talk me through all of the details of the song that I'm hearing. Talk me through the details of the song. Talk production and talk mix. Talk to me about your role in the song that I'm hearing and what you're doing so I kind of know where to point my attention. All right, let's get into this. And let's hold on real quick. Oh, we have some cool Wait, you made all the, oh, we got to show you, we're going to show your animations. Hold on. Switch up. Switch up, switch up. All right, just for a moment, I'm not going to be able to see the chat. I'm not going to be able to see the chat over on Twitch and YouTube. So don't say anything crazy because I won't be able to know. But I'm gonna go ahead and show everybody the animations here. This was done by Rigel, so which is RIG3L. But I want to show everybody the animations. We can put it up on the screen so everybody can see it. And I do want to make sure that that I'm not missing anything. So I'm gonna miss some chats over on YouTube and Twitch for a moment here. But I do want to focus on this track from Rigel and be able to show this whole thing. So give me one moment. Let me pull this up. Beautiful. We got it up right here. Let's run it. And hopefully this works. It does. Gorgeous. All right. Rigel said, I'm the singer and I did the mix and master. Beautiful. And then the production was from someone else. All right, let's get into it. This is Animali, I believe is the name by Rigel.
You're now listening to Katana.
Oh my baby, I'm no time. Me una vuelta de Goldside. No my baby, I'm no time. Me una vuelta de gozar a la side. Sunshine basum ni la vida. Nas que nos afilia. Those sentiments on my back.
You did all these animations? What are you using to animate? No way, man. Come on. That's crazy. Dude, I love that so much. If you're for real, I love that so much. Yo, show some love. Show some love. Show some love. That is Rigel right here in the chat. Let me get out of the screen here so we can get back over to the emails over here. Make sure I got everything pulled up. Man, please show some love to Rigel. Said he spent 2 months to draw the shit. Dude, if you legitimately drew all of that out for that video, that's like really like the digital artwork and everything. That's really impressive, man. That's really, dude, I love, is that what you do for a living? Is that just a hobby of yours? Do you do digital art and animation as a hobby or a living or something like that? Let me know. I would love to put you on, man. So people can work with you and stuff, man. That's really, really well done. That's very, very cool. That's Animali. That is Rigel right here in the chat. We're going to get straight back into the song, man. Let's get straight back into the song. You're really talented. Really, really talented. Let's dive in. Let me know if this is out on all platforms as well, so I can pull it up on Spotify and stream it from there too. 2,000, yeah, man, 2,000 frames. I used to work on that, but now I just draw for my songs. Dude, that's so cool. I love that so much, man. Seriously, props to you for just investing in that craft and doing it manually. I respect that so much. I respect that so much, man. That's amazing. Super, super cool. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Yeah, let me know really quick if it's released to Spotify. That way I can pull it up, and then we'll get you the stream over there as well. I'm on all platforms, dude. Of course. I want to make sure anytime someone sends in a video, I usually start with the video so we can show everybody the lyric video, music videos. Like if y'all ever have music videos and stuff, I always want to make sure I show them on stream so that everybody can check them out. And then, but if it's on platforms, I always want to make sure we still give you the stream too. Same name, I'm assuming. So let's see. Rigel. It's super catchy already, dude. It's already stuck in my head. Let's see. Is that song out on platforms? Hold on. I want to make sure I don't miss it. Or is that song not out yet, maybe? There it is. Got you. Sorry, it's a little bit farther down. All right, man, let's run it. Let's run it from the top. We're going to dig into just a couple quick things. Now, if you like what you hear, if you like that song, is it Lobto? Thank you so much for hopping in on Twitch. I appreciate you being here. How you feeling today? If you like what you hear, go and find that track on platforms. It is released to Spotify and all platforms. So go and like the track, add it to your playlist, stream it, follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. Show it some love and support. Let's get into it, man. Let's run it from the top and let's get into the details. This is Animali by Rigel. Let's dive in. There's a couple quick little things I want to talk about on the mix side and the performance side, just to break down a few quick little moments. But you're really, really talented, man. Especially, man, the animation just hyped me up. Marshall, thank you for the heart me, man. I appreciate you so much. I appreciate you hopping in over on TikTok. Hope you're doing amazing today. All right, let's get into it. Where'd you get the production again?
Listening to Katana.
Is that BeatStars? Is that the producer tag there? Is that from BeatStars?
Now listening to Katana.
I just did the mix and the master, but the beat is BeatStars artist beat. Okay, perfect. That's what I figured. Cool. So a couple quick things. Honestly, man, you got a pretty good balance here. The production, like I'm assuming it's a 2-track off the production. The production itself sounds pretty clean, pretty open. I don't have any complaints. There's not muddy or anything at all. The thing I want to target a couple very small details in your vocal. You have great range, great power, great emotion behind your vocal. I like that a lot. I don't mind your processing either. I don't mind a really like wide, vibrant, reverberated vocal, stuff like that. All that sounds fine to me. One of the things I'll be careful of as you increase in vocal range, you do start to move into a spot where you get some kind of unbeneficial resonance in the vocal, some ringing in the vocal. Most likely this is happening around like 2 or 3K, like 2 or 3,000 hertz. You get a little bit of ringing right there. So I would just, on your EQ, make sure there's just maybe a very small dip around, let's say 2,000 hertz, 3,000 hertz. You can kind of find that for yourself. I wouldn't look for it, because if you boost frequencies and sweep them around, you'll find an issue, because they like, everything sounds bad if you boost it like that. But if you hear something before, like in this case, I can hear when you when you hit that note, you get a little bit more ringing in the mids. If you hear it, then I would try to target it and bring some of that back under control and back into balance. So if you have, there's a little bit of ringing there in the mids, high mids, just notch that out just very, very lightly, 2-3 dB to regain some control over that vocal, because it's also being amplified by the amount of reverb that you have on. So that ringing then lasts for like 5 seconds every time that you hit those higher notes, because you have that little burst in energy right there, that additional resonance, and then it's carried with your Hall reverb for the next couple seconds. And that's where you're getting a little bit more mud, right? A little bit more kind of like noise and ringing at the high end of your mix with your vocal. So if you can control that, bring that just a little bit more under control, it's going to help your vocal feel less abrasive over time, right? Like here's one of my tests. I'm taking notes literally. Perfect. I will say, let me remind everybody as well, just as a quick reminder, on all of the different platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and TikTok, which we're live on all of them right now. at the end of the live stream, all of these live streams are saved as a VOD on YouTube. They're saved to Twitch for 2 weeks too, but YouTube is typically a bit easier. So as soon as this live stream is over, this is episode 17. Even though we've been doing it for 3 years, I just started fresh when I started saving these videos. So on YouTube, you can literally go to my playlist that says Track Talk live stream, episode 17. You're going to be one of the last songs of the night. You can go towards the end of the live stream and you'll get this whole entire breakdown recorded for you right there. You can go back and reference it and record from there and take notes from there and screen record if you need to, take clips or whatever you want to do. You can do that all from the stream as well. So definitely take notes because they can be really valuable. But also, if you miss anything, you don't have to worry. All of these are saved to a VOD on YouTube. And you can find the YouTube by just going to my link tree. It's right there at the top in the icon, or you can see the video that's listed as well. But yeah, we're live there right now. And that also just gives you an ability to go back and reference them as well. Okay. Let's get back into this moment right here. So here's one of my tests, right? One of the things that I am constantly kind of thinking about as I'm mixing and as I'm balancing things is how loud can I listen as a consumer, not as an engineer, right? But as a consumer, how loud can I listen to this song, to this music, to this record before it hurts, right? And I think for a lot of people, especially when you're maybe newer to mixing or you're more amateur at it, right? And that's not a negative thing. It's just if you're earlier in the process or not as accomplished as an engineer and as proficient as an engineer, more often than not, you're going to hit that threshold pretty low, right? If there's more sibilance in the vocal, if there's more like unbeneficial resonances in the vocal, like in the mids, that ringing that we're talking about, if the bass is super boomy and muddy below like 100 hertz, 200 hertz, if those things are happening, right? I can't really turn this up that loud on my, sound bar, in my car, in my headphones before it hurts, right? Before the low end is so boomy that it's like rattling the drivers in my my AirPods, right? Or before it's like filling up the car with low end and it sounds crazy. Or on my sound bar, it's like super tinny and brittle. And so when I turn it up, it's like, oh, this sounds crazy, right? So one of my tests of like a good balance, a decent balance to a mix is that you can turn it up. Like your favorite songs, you can blast at home and dance to them, or you can go to the club and they can crank it and it doesn't hurt. Now, it might just be hurt because it's so loud, but you're able to reach that level of loudness because you have a good balance to your mix, right? So, and that's one of my goals when I'm like balancing these things. It's not to like rob all of your dynamics and life from your record, but it's to create enough of like a flat response to your mix that you can turn this up on any platform. You can crank it in the club, you can crank it in the car, you can work out to these songs, and you can turn them up loud and it doesn't hurt. So if you were to crank this, and push it quite a bit louder, that resonance, and resonance is just sound, right? It's just vibration, but that resonance, that's why I call it unbeneficial resonance, right? Because sound is just resonance. But unbeneficial resonance, where there's frequencies that are coming forward in the mix that are starting to feedback, they're starting to loop, they're starting to manifest with a little bit more brittleness and harshness in the mix. If those are presenting themselves, you're going to reach that limitation and that threshold of loudness a lot quicker. But if I can control that and mitigate that a little bit, then I can create a better response to my mix. I can push everything a little bit louder, and your consumer who's listening to your music can push everything a little bit louder. So that's one of the things that I would kind of keep in mind. It's not about like trying to find problems, but it's when you hear things that don't feel like they're beneficial to the mix, boominess in the bass, ringing in the vocal, mud and all your reverbs and delays and stuff like that. If you can clean all of that up, you're actually making it a better experience for your audience. It's not just about like dumb engineering rules and like gatekeeping, engineering stuff. It's actually optimizing your experience for your audience so they can enjoy your music on as many different platforms as possible and enjoy it well, right? Like in all of those different platforms. So that's why and when you hit these higher notes here, I'm going to go back into it. Some of those like right in there, you get a little bit that I can't do it, whatever, but you get a little bit of the ringing right there. So I would just kind of find where that is. In the future, obviously the song's already out. I'm not too worried about it, and it sounds pretty good. But in the future, as you're mixing your vocals, listen for it, train your ears, listen for those rings, listen for those little unbeneficial frequencies, and start to like very lightly notch them out and control them and mitigate them. I think if you do that, you're going to be in a much better spot. Your mixes are going to sound a lot cleaner, a lot more open. Let's keep it moving.
Fly, 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 yeah, yeah. Oh, my baby, I've no time. Me una vuelta de con esa. No
got a good voice, man. You're on that frequency that we're talking about in that pocket right there. You have a good voice. It's very easy to listen to. You have great range, just good tone. It's like a very, very natural tone that I like a lot. It sounds good.
Now I can take off this call. De man que no está ni hora. Su mente nunca tengo. Sula, immagini la stamma vi musciute io sigo. My love, eu saia te va caricando.
You get a little bit of the ringing there. So yeah, it's all kind of in the same da every time you hit that note. So it's like you can see this little pocket of ringing here, and every time your note reaches that right there, that's where you start to get that energy in the mix. So just mitigating that's going to be really helpful. Last thing, honest thing that I would say, beat is balanced well. I have no issues with that off the 2-track. And what your vocal's doing, I don't mind at all. You have good melodies and stuff like that too. And some good consistent melodies in there that I really like, and I really like your voice. It's really cool. Obviously I don't understand the language, but just the feeling behind it, the emotion behind it, I genuinely like it a lot. The last little thing that I would say is I really wish that there were more layers to your vocal every once in a while. I don't think it needs it all the time. There's a lot of artists that get away with a fairly solo vocal, a little bit more of an isolated vocal. I wish there was a little bit more layering to your vocal, even just an octave every once in a while to support it. Because otherwise what it starts to kind of sound like and feel like is, this happens, I'll be honest with you, this happens a lot with 2-tracks. This happens a lot with YouTube beats and MP3 strips, BeatStars leases, stuff like that, where you get a 2-track, you get your beat, and you isolate a vocal over the top of it, and then it sounds like that when it's mixed. It sounds like there's a beat and there's a vocal, and they don't necessarily feel like connected and cohesive. Thank you so much for the heart me. I appreciate it. I would love to hear some connection. One of the ways that you can connect that like solo vocal and this big vibrant production is to connect it with layers, because the layers become a part of your chords. They become a part of the stereo field instead of just a mono vocal, and it makes everything a little bit more, it makes everything feel a little bit more connected. I would love for even just every once in a while to get like a lower octave underneath your vocal, and then maybe even a couple times in the song, maybe on your hook, like the structure of your hook, maybe give it just a stack of harmonies right there for a second. And they can be wide, they can be back in the mix, they don't have to be really prominent, but they can just give some support and some energy to your vocal without being too overwhelming. Let me listen just a little bit farther, and then we'll close things up here. But genuinely love your vocal and love your energy. But right now, what I hear and what I hear from a lot of BeatStars leases, 2-tracks and stuff like that, is the separation. Here's a beat, here's a vocal, but nothing connects them. Again, sometimes it works, but even like with rap, even with R&B, even with, I've heard it kind of all in different genres and styles. It's still like, even with rap, sometimes you can here's like a really loud forward vocal, and here's a beat, and they feel disconnected. And then as soon as you add like in and outs, you add some accent vocals, you add some layers and some ad libs, it feels a little bit more connected. I'm also not one who thinks you need to like fill in every single gap with ad libs and stuff like that. But I think connecting with layering, not just filling in gaps, but layering kind of vertically, definitely gives you a little bit more depth and feeling in your track. Shout out to the vibe track. So like right in here, I don't, obviously I'm gonna mumble melodies, but just having the low octave here. Even just having the just the depth, like the amount of just like feeling and character that gives in the mix, and I'm just mumbling unmixed vocals in the background. It to me, it just adds a little bit of weight, adds a little bit of presence to the mix. You pair that with some stacks that are a little bit cleaner, not as much reverb and stuff. I think you'll be in a good spot. I think you'll be in a good spot. Y'all, show some love, man. Show some love to Rigel. Give me 1 second here. Dun, dun, dun. Let me take that off for a second. Y'all, show some love to Rigel, man. I mean, for one, your animations are so cool. I hope if anyone was on YouTube or Twitch or even on TikTok for a moment where we showed those on the screen, I hope y'all got to see that. You're very talented with animation, man. I mean, you spent 2 months, 2,000 frames of digital animation. to make that happen for your like music video, your lyric video there. That's so cool, man. I mean, in the age of, you know, AI and stuff like that, I have so much like profound respect for people that spend months working on something and investing like in a craft. Not because like to me, it's not about whether something can be done easier. There's so much personal fulfillment that happens when you work at something and you chip away at it and you improve on it. It's why I like my job and I like so many of the things that I do here. Is like there's something that's so personally fulfilling. It's not about just getting, you know, a capitalist product out there as fast as possible to make money with your music. It's loving what you do and loving creating as a human being and investing in that process. I love that you do that, man. So shout out to you as well for the animations. It's really, really cool. I respect it a lot. I respect it a lot. Y'all, please show some love to Rigel. And definitely, the song that you heard is out on all platforms. It's Anomaly that's out on all different platforms. The artist name is RIG3L, Rigel. Go like the track, go add it to your playlist, go stream it, go follow on Spotify, all that good stuff. You're going to like what you hear, man. You're really talented. I'm excited to hear more from you. Give it up one time for the family. Rigel, welcome in, man. I'm so glad that you're here. Let me double check just a few things here really quick. Just a quick reminder that if you would like to submit, go to my profile. If you're on TikTok, go to my dude, anytime, man. I genuinely appreciate your submission so much. Thank you for being here. If you would like to submit, go to my profile, click on the link and click on Track Talk Submission. If you're on Twitch, type !submit right there in the chat. And if you're on YouTube, you can go to the description for the live stream. You'll see the link there and follow the steps there. We'll get you up on the board for your submission today as well. Like I mentioned earlier today, and I'll mention again, these are not quick reviews. This is a really in-depth breakdown of your music. So we're going to spend about 20 to 30 minutes diving into the details of your music, getting into the nuances of your mix, production, sound design, lyric and song structure, and hopefully offer you some actionable feedback and some real value when it comes to the structure of your music and what you're doing creatively. And just also just if y'all don't know who I am, maybe you're coming in for the first time, you're lurking on the outside of one of the live streams. I'm so glad you're here, even if you're on the outside. Thank you for hopping in. My name is Torvik. I'm a full-time engineer, producer, and session musician. That is what I do for a living. I'm also a classically trained musician. So the perspective that we offer here is from that space. I'm not here to roast you. I'm not here to hype you up. I'm not here to just give you exposure. The goal of this live stream is to give actionable feedback and some real advice. So if that's something you're interested in, you can find all the details by going to the link and clicking on Track Talk Submission and walking through the steps right here. I'm going to hold for just a couple minutes. Otherwise, I'm going to probably hop off here in just a little bit. If anyone else would like to submit, I'll hold, like I said, for a few minutes before we hop off of the live stream. And we will be live again tomorrow as well. We'll be live again tomorrow as well. So definitely make sure that y'all are following. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. Make sure that you're following on Twitch and subscribed on Twitch. Make sure that you're following on TikTok, so on and so on. That way you can make sure you have notifications turned on for the live streams. We're live at least for a couple hours, usually every day during the week. Sometimes during the weekend, sometimes I kind of fit things in around different projects, different work that I'm doing here in the studio. So sometimes it's a little bit like today was a little bit later. I'm trying to be more consistent, but it just hasn't been working out, especially around the holidays and different things, different things that we're doing. So it usually is afternoon Central Time. I'll compartmentalize that way. Afternoon Central Time, we're usually live for a couple hours. I'd say anywhere from like 2 to 4 hours we're live. So if you ever want to catch the stream, get a consultation done, and get into the details of your music, of course, you can do that at any point during the week. Just make sure that you're following. We've had a lot more people submitting over through YouTube, so I'm so glad y'all are there. Thank y'all so much for tapping in. I appreciate it a lot. Let me give it just. It's not like it's something. Okay, I'll figure out. Sorry, I'm seeing. It won't let you repost. That's super annoying. Let me. I'm gonna hop on. I'm on the platform over here, so let me try something real quick. Yeah, let me see, because there's literally. I honestly think it's one of those. I'm like talking to Libby through the chat. I think it's one of those like weird things that happens when like TikTok's like about to go through it. Like this usually happens. Like things will be really hot, and then they're like going through an update, and then there's like there's usually like 3 or 4 days where things like re-trigger and they shift and they move, and then it like goes back to like normal for the next like 2 months or whatever. And so I'm kind of assuming it's just that. That's usually what happens when like the video streams get really glitchy. The features, you could repost and stuff. Let me see, because I'm trying it from my other account. Repost removed. Couldn't repost. Let me try something. Screenshotting a couple things so I can kind of see. Because it's not the words, because I had it was like fine-ish earlier. And in fact, for the first time in a while, when I first got on, there was like an immediate like push. So yeah, maybe I'll keep Twitch and YouTube running. I'll go use the restroom and then I'll do a quick little reset and I'll add. Well, now I need to, dang it, I took the words off and now I don't know. I also need to like eat. I know. I'll figure it out. I took some screenshots. I'll go back through a couple things and I'll work on a few things and see if there's anything else to do. But I do need to use the restroom. So I'll probably yeah. No worries. I'll probably, because we need to eat and stuff too. Yeah, sorry. No, I'm like talking back and forth. So now this is off. Jamal's in the building. What's up, Jamal? Welcome in, man. Good to see you. I hope you're doing amazing. Okay, I'm probably gonna hop off. I'm probably gonna hop off for tonight. I'm gonna test a couple things. But I'll probably hop off tonight and get some other things worked out for the rest of this week as well. Because it's been fine. And then the reason why I think it's just a random technical thing is because of the 2 days that we had that were completely normal with the way things were. And so for it to randomly just switch to nothing tells me, and it's not letting anything repost. I screenshotted that too, because I'm on my other account over here. So I'm going to try to figure that out. Okay. Y'all, that's gonna do it for today. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. We'll be back on soon. We're gonna be back on very soon. For sure, we'll be back on tomorrow as well. If not, maybe later tonight. I don't know. We'll see. But I'll definitely be back on live tomorrow. I would like to go live for like 4 or 5 hours tomorrow if all things work out. So definitely make sure that you are tapped in. Make sure that you're following. Quick reminder for those of you who don't know, that I do work full-time as an engineer, producer, and session musician. So if you're ever interested in any of those services and would like, hold on, let me switch this here, and would like to work with me on any of those services, whether it's production, session work, synths, live drums, guitars, vocals, stuff like that, full production packages, audio engineering, stuff like that, shoot me a message on any platform or reach out through our website, theobsidiankey.com, and shoot me a message through the contact form and we'll get in touch. We'll talk about your budget and your timeline and we'll get you moving in the right direction. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank y'all for the amazing music tonight. Hopefully we'll chat soon and hopefully we'll see some of y'all tomorrow as well. Y'all have a good one.